I found something in the store.
Okay. What did you find?
That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Tonight, we're going to be jumping from talking about all things Terminator for the last 2 episodes straight, to discussing one of the most talked about movies of 2026 so far, Kane Parsons' psychological horror directorial debut, Backrooms. Parsons is 21 now, but was 20 when Backrooms dropped on May 29th. It has become the youngest director to ever have a film debut at #1, both domestically and globally. Backrooms dropped only 2 weeks after Curry Barker's horror film Obsession, another directorial debut by a filmmaker in their 20s that did insanely well. Both films really caught on, and a big part of the surprise hype was the young age of these 2 directors. Kane Parsons has been working towards this for a few years now, working on his craft with a series of short YouTube fan films based around Attack on Titan. Parsons created fictional historical war photos to tell the story as if he was doing war journalism. In 2022, Kane Parsons became interested in the classic Duplass Renee Ruin. Background noise of fluorescent lights at maximum humbuzz and approximately 600 million square miles randomly segmented empty rooms to be trapped in. God save you if you hear something wandering around nearby, because it sure as hell has heard you. The Backrooms meme has supplied a never-ending supply of eerie liminal spaces. Abandoned malls, empty parking garages, tunnels, crawl spaces. In the Backrooms meme lore, all of these liminal spaces are interconnected in a never-ending maze of empty rooms, level after level, complex after complex.
Hello? Hello?
This meme led Kane Parsons in 2022 to post a 9-minute short film on YouTube called The Backrooms, Found Footage. He was 16 years old at the time and had recreated the Backrooms on Blender, the open source 3D computer graphics software. It quickly went viral, being hailed as one of the scariest videos on the internet, and got compared to Slender Man. Kane Parsons turned the massively popular short film into a web series, a 24-episode web series with each episode created on Blender. Interestingly, at least one writer reviewing the original in 2022 for Boing Boing when it came out predicted this would get a film adaptation just like Slender Man did, although they predicted the result would be dismal.
What the This isn't real. This isn't real. This isn't real.
They were right about the film adaptation part, though not the quality. The Backrooms was first announced in February 2023 as an A24 project, which would mean at age 17, Kane Parsons already had an announced deal to direct his first feature film. It was written by Will Sudick, who was a writer on shows like Homeland, Ash vs. Evil Dead, and Westworld, who has a 2-screenplay deal with A24, this and in the upcoming horror film Alter with Kyle MacLachlan and January Jones. Backrooms and Alter will be Will's first 2 feature films. Will Sudick definitely comes from TV royalty. His father, Henry Bromell, was a writer who became an executive producer on Homicide: Life on the Street by season 4. After bouncing around on shows like Northern Exposure, Chicago Hope, and Rubicon, and a side career as a New Yorker short story writer, he became best known for his work on Homeland as a writer and producer, where he was able to bring real-life knowledge, as his father was a CIA station chief in the Middle East, and where his son Will was hired after Henry's death in 2013 as a writer to complete his work on the episode Tower of David. Backrooms was produced by Oz Perkins, James Wan of Insidious and Saw, Flock director turned producer Sean Levy, and co-produced and co-financed by Churnin Entertainment and A24. So a huge list of producers were on hand to assist Will and Kane at this project if they needed help on any part of it, though from the sound of it, they apparently didn't need the help, which we found out when people online started denying a 20-year-old could direct a film. Backrooms stars Chiwetel Ejiofor, Renate Reinsve, Mark Duplass, Bennett, and Lukita Maxwell.
It's okay. It's just the way we're wired.
Loosely based around the Backrooms web series, in that a shadowy corporation, Async, that has discovered the Backrooms appears throughout it. Backrooms tells a story of a failed architect named Clark who now owns a furniture store named Captain Clark's. He's attempting to talk through his mess of a life with a secretly traumatized therapist named Mary Klein, which involves a failed marriage, debt, and an inability to accept his own mistakes. One night, while sleeping in the furniture store because his ex-wife took the house, he discovers a portal in the basement of the furniture store that leads into the back rooms. As an audience, we know that the back rooms is full of unknown danger from the found footage at the beginning of the film that shows an async researcher who gets lost and mauled by an unseen attacker. But Clark unknowingly begins exploring the back rooms with his 2 store employees. The back rooms is an endless maze of eerie details and rooms and hallways. And they get quickly lost and begin disappearing one by one. Mary, who is concerned about Clark's erratic behavior, goes searching for him and also gets trapped in the back rooms. The back rooms were designed in Blender. Then Danny Vermette of Long Legs and the Monkey fame worked with Kane Parsons to physically construct an architectural hell, as they called it, across 4 sound stages. Every part of it constructed to appear like a rendering error with everything misaligned and off. Large sections of the film are shot as found footage, which creates a larger sense of unreality. And we're looking at this strange distorted world not through our own eyes, but through a camera lens. The beings in the back rooms are all distorted and damaged, as if being remembered by an unseen mind operating as the entire space. Shot for $10 million, Backrooms has so far made $366 million at the box office, which has also opened up Hollywood to take the worst lesson possible and assume that the people want to see more Reddit posts as movies. So we'll see how that one goes. Before I introduce the panel, please like this video and subscribe to the Movie Night Extravaganza YouTube channel. Then hit that bell to get notified whenever we're streaming. Super chats are now open. If you have any pressing questions, send us a super chat, which helps me maintain the expenses for the show, which I am obligated by the rules of the Geneva Convention to stop everything and ask the panel. Another way to help us out is to become a patron and give us money every month. In exchange, you get access to all of our after parties, bonus content, and we'll tell you even more movies we watched recently. Patreon.com/Movie Night Extra. We have a Movie Night Extravaganza Discord. There's an invite link in the episode description, and we have a Letterboxd HQ account. So those are 2 more places to follow along with us. Our show gets simulcast, or if we're not on it at regular time, played later on This Space. This Space is a working class independent media collective. YouTube.com/ThisSpaceTV. Subscribing really helps out, or even more, sharing content from This Space and encouraging others to do the same. By working together, we can break through the algorithm. Okay, let me introduce the illustrious panel. Conan Neutron is the co-host and senior producer for Movie Night Extravaganza, host of Protonic Reversal, an independent Film Critics of America film critic, and the frontman for the band Conan Neutron and the Secret Friends. Check out his music at neutronfriends.bandcamp.com. Kristina Oakes is a co-host of Movie Night Extravaganza, a streamer on Twitch, twitch.tv/cosmopolitics, a host at This Space, hosting Kristina's Corner, and is across social media at Cosmopolitics and on Letterboxd at Kristina. Forrest and Kristina have a second show, The Absurdity Space, live on This Space on Wednesdays at 6 Eastern, 3 Pacific. Renee Ruin is a blogger, writer, host of the Night Shift podcast, head of Ruin Agency, and her work can be found at reneeruin.com and patreon.com/Renee Ruin. I, of course, am your host, Forrest Miller.
Deborah! I'm trapped in the back rooms.
I'm so glad that bit has legs. Welcome, Renee. You've also been stuck in the back rooms. It's been a while.
Yes, I have.
It's great to have you back. As you can see by your background. Yes, you got back rooms in your back rooms. You're like the exhibit of back rooms. You have back rooms in your back rooms.
Ooh.
Thank you. All right, that's all the time we got, everybody. Good night. Yeah.
It's Saturday. We're all very, very wired and tired and hyped up at the same time. I know.
Yeah, it's worth noting because, of course, as per normal,
I feel like we're stuck in
Renee.
the back rooms for real.
Yeah,
it's like 10 a.m. in Australia.
It's morning and it's winter for you, which is hilarious because it's night and summer for us.
Yeah, literally, it's more different here.
Yeah. No, it's freezing ass cold. And as you guys know, through our entire history of me coming on this show, I fucking hate mornings, and I never get up early except for this show. So,
yeah, I was very pleased that we were able to get you back on. It's been far too long, but of course you've been a key voice. I don't even know. It's been a while. Been a key voice for the show. You know, one of my favorite featured guests, and it just wouldn't be the same without having you on.
Yeah.
So we appreciate you making the sacrifice to be on in the morning with us talking about this surrealistic. I mean, is this a horror movie? I don't know. Is it? I mean, kind of existential horror a little bit.
It is a horror movie to me, man. Some of some of the things in this are like I feel like are like nightmares I've had since I was a child. Like you know, like there's so many parts in this movie that had a little bit to do with Backrooms, but not a lot to do with Backrooms, that scared the living shit out of me. Like the big scene, you know, where you're looking down and there's you can see inside the office building, and then there's the staircase going up to the ceiling, and she has to go from the door to the staircase. That I was about to puke. Like that is one of my nightmares. Like I was like I could feel it. I felt like in the cinema, I felt like I was going to fall off the fucking staircase and fall down there. Like, and they're the kind of shitty ass dreams I've had my whole life. And the ones where, you know, you're running and running and running and running and running and nothing, you know what I mean? Like, and like falling off the bed. They're like the dreams I always get. So there was so many parts of this that actually were like horrifying.
Yeah, or like the underground mall situation too. I get those dreams, or even like dreams where I'm like in, you know, empty liminal spaces, and I'm like, why?
Which that's his other series on YouTube is like the underground mall thing, which is actually totally worth watching. I forget what it's called. It's like the greatest gift, but it's definitely not the greatest gift. That's a scratch acid record, but it's something along those lines. But I think what we're dealing with this talented young filmmaker is two things. One of which is that he took everything that made his web series cool and interesting, and something that even someone who chooses to be offline the vast majority of the time, and certainly not a YouTube watcher generally, eagerly checked out and have even seen multiple times, and kept all that continuity and all that vibe and moved it to the big screen with, and I'm glad you included in the intro for us, like they built this stuff. This stuff physically exists in a space. And so that's why, like, we don't see a lot of tactile surrealism these days. Everything's going to be CGI garbage. It's gormless. It doesn't have any weight to it. It doesn't feel real. And all of this being, you know, these just crazy, like, you know, psychopathic, nonsensical angles, non-Euclidean geometry, what have you. All of that works so well because it physically exists in a space. Like, I mean, they're talking about how people on this set would get lost. Like all the time, like just trying to get from point A to point B.
Yeah, I think it was 30. They said it was 30,000 square feet. Maybe I'm messing that up.
Amazing.
It was a very, very large set, and the way that they did it, as I said in the intro, he designed all of the YouTube ones in Blender, which, you know, is the famous like open source you know, like kind of program where you can do your own versions of like CGI and create these things. And so he rebuilt that in Blender, like built all of the stuff, and then actually had a set designer go, okay, so we physically put this here, and here. It's the same guy that did Longlegs set design.
Right. And it's based off of, there's a real picture that it's based off of. And it's in Oshkosh, Wisconsin. Yeah. And it's crazy because they only put like 2 billboards up for this entire movie, but one of them they put on is outside the actual building. There's something else now. Outside the actual building they took the original picture of. And it's crazy because Nick from You Got Records like took a picture of it and I was like, oh my God, like that's the actual building. And having, you know, I did some work for Milwaukee County. They got some old ass buildings. I can tell you that like when I first saw that series, I was like, oh, this kid's kind of nailing it. This is like pretty, like, because I've been in these freaky, like almost near deserted buildings where you just hear this like strange humming sound.
Yeah.
And like you got this lighting that's sort of like off somehow, like there's fluorescence flickering and things like that. And that's one of the things that drew me to that YouTube series originally, and he got all of that, and he nailed it so effectively that you're like, what the Sam
Well, that's
Hill's
the beauty
going
of
on?
the whole the kind of the backstory behind Backrooms is that it's what we consider a creepypasta. It's basically an internet horror urban legend that a lot of people think are real, that they happened, like, oh, SpongeBob got hacked, you know, one time on television or something like that, even though that's only happened like few times, but like it's, you know, stuff that people create to, you know, instill like some fear and some type of like creepy urban legend about something. And the Backrooms is, you know, one of the earliest ones, and it's interesting to see that like
it's one of the way later ones, but it's 2019
because it's based off of the picture and that kind of one quote
from like from the early 2000s.
I wanted to read the quote really fast because
go ahead.
Because the thing sorry, Kristina, not to cut you off on that. I just had to say it's 2019, I think, but I'm trying to hold on.
Yeah, that sounds right.
I'm trying to find this real quick, but my thing skipped for some reason. Like it didn't.
Can I just that's a shame. But while you find that, can I just say that I was the first one that was like, they're gonna make a movie out of Backrooms. That's gonna be terrible. Like I was like, no way, that's not gonna work. How would that ever work? And then like as they moved along in the processing, started the casting, I was like, oh, okay, all right, that could be interesting. That could be cool. And then, got to the point that we got it. And I think it only I'm a big Renate Reinsve fan, as everyone in the show knows. Like, I've been a fan of hers for forever. I think it's great. This, I think her second English-speaking role. And I actually think it really works to the character's credit that her English isn't letter perfect, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's kind of got that weird sort of otherworldly kind of clearly he's not even speaking with an accent, but
it's somewhere between her Norwegian accent and the American accent. It's as if you're listening to someone who's trying to do an American accent, but their Norwegian accent is showing through.
Yeah, and I think it works really well for the character's background and for the character in general. And I think she's just astounding in this.
All right, so if you're not careful and you clip out of reality in the wrong areas, you'll end up in the back rooms where it's nothing but the stink of old moist carpet, the madness of mono yellow, the endless background noise of fluorescent lights at maximum humbuzz, and approximately 600 million square miles of randomly segmented empty rooms to be trapped in. God save you if you hear something wandering around nearby, because it sure as hell has heard you.
Yeah, great. I mean, that's baby shoes for sale, never worn level of effective storytelling. Right?
Does anyone know, just on the side of that, the yellow, right? Does anyone know if anyone's discovered who did the wallpaper?
They did a small article in whatever the Oshkosh equivalent of the Milwaukee Journal Sentinel was, and they actually went to the store, which is something else entirely now, and they were trying to find that out, and nobody knew. We don't know. That's we didn't keep any of it. We threw it away.
The person who actually designed the wallpaper, and it's fucking everywhere now on everything.
Yeah, of course, yeah. So I'm curious, Renee, did you check out the web series when it originally was out? Okay.
So yeah, I had no idea. I'd seen the picture and I knew kind of little bits of it, but I had no idea. I'd never watched it. And then I made a deliberate choice not to watch any of it before I saw it. And then I saw it the day it came out, and I was expecting we got the best seats or whatever, because I was I'm anal retentive. I have to sit in the middle back row of every film that I go to.
Right, yeah.
It's really shitty if I can't get the back row and middle. It ruins everything for me. So I always book it in advance, and I booked it, and then it sold out, and the cinema was overrun. So they had to move it from the cinema it was meant to play into a different one, which was bigger. So we all got moved. But I was actually still in an okay.
So I was gonna say you didn't get your assigned seat, or
no, I was actually okay. But what I will say is I have never in my entire life been in a cinema with that many Gen Zs in my life.
Really young audience, right? I had the same thing. Yeah.
It was wild, and we're talking not only Gen Zs, it's 12-year-olds, 11-year-olds,
yeah.
Just everyone was so excited, and it was a big room of ADD just on high, and I was whoa, and that excited the fuck out of me. Excited me so much to see so many people at the cinema, and it was there was a huge range of ages, but I will say the Gen Z and the younger were just phenomenal.
Because you don't see them coming out in droves to the theaters, Ralph, and I think Obsession
mass groups they're coming in groups of 10 and stuff, and and I was whoa,
they're on the internet though, and not to go a little morbid, but if we remember the Slender Man stabbing, 12-year-old girl, that's the perfect age demographic to fall for these creepypasta type internet memes or whatever.
Well, I wanted to talk about two of them that I remember. This is how far back those trends, this kind of trend with the creepypasta stuff, both on Reddit. Before that, I think it was just on forums, but then on Reddit and then on 4chan, which is where this was originally posted, and then they kind of
I was they're talking about 4chan, we going back, guys. We going
yeah, exactly, right, yeah.
One of them
something awful.
Is the famous Russian sleep experiment, which was posted as if it was a real thing, which is in the 1940s, US, the Soviets kept these people awake forever, and they went crazy, and they went back into the room after keeping these people awake for a month, and the guy had eaten everybody else. And the other one that I remember that's really, really old is Squidward's suicide, which is a guy claimed that he had worked at Nickelodeon as an intern, and there was a secret episode of SpongeBob where Squidward commits suicide, and no one talks about it because it was so dark that it actually drove people to commit suicide. So those are like early formatted versions of this kind of creepypasta thing.
Which that kind of stuff it's been around for a bit, for sure.
Yeah.
I'm curious, Forrest, Kristina, do either you know the YouTube series before the movie?
I didn't know the YouTube series.
No.
I'm the only one. I am the least likely person to look at something on YouTube ever. And I realize we are on YouTube right now.
The
but-
only thing I look at
like I'm not on Reddit a whole lot, so I probably wouldn't have known about that first.
Well, because the reason why is the only reason I knew it is because when I was working for Milwaukee County, I was like describing one of my experiences in one of these like old ass like buildings that like are very, the exact same kind of buildings that was inspired by the Backrooms, and mentioning the lights and the hum and the weird emptiness where it looked like a party had just happened, but like nobody had been there for a really long time. And someone's like, oh yeah, like the Backrooms, and I'm like, Backrooms, what are you talking about? And so then like I looked it up, and so I only reason I know this guy personally, and then I was like, oh my god, it is like that thing I just saw. That's crazy. But yeah, that is so interesting because he did something real cool here, which is that all of like it's not like a retelling of the story or anything. It's all part of like a larger story.
Yeah.
And he managed to keep that consistent and actually kind of add to it, and that's something that I can only imagine why there's like 55 people producing this thing. If they were trying to like protect his vision basically, because everyone's going, he's just some dumb kid. He doesn't know what we can boss him around and get what we want out of him. And I mean, credit where credit's due. This is one of the most effective like Gen X style horrors I've ever seen, made by someone who's 20 years old.
Yeah.
And that's because he has a certain interest in fetishization of things like VHS and old infomercial style commercials and stuff like that.
We also mentioned though that he like had really cool parents. That's another thing. Like this kid had really cool parents. Like, have you seen the thing that went viral about his dad posting in Facebook groups saying that his son like wants to be a filmmaker and stuff, and it's fucking so wholesome. And if you haven't seen it, you should everyone check it out. But it's so fucking wholesome. His dad's like trolling like groups and stuff and like posting about how his son wants to do this and people sending him advice. It's amazing. So like also
adorable.
Support your children and like let your kids be creative, because I think that's something like imagine how many kids there are. Like I know if I was at my age, if I had parents who were actively like, yeah, like we'll buy you this, we'll help you do this, we'll do this, like let you do this. So many kids could succeed and do amazing things, but people don't have these, so a lot of this, like not saying his parents are the, did it, but like what I am saying is like, fuck, like imagine how many people don't have that stuff. Do you know what I mean? And like, where that could get them, because he obviously had a great, like, and he's talked about his father a lot, and his father worked in film somehow or some creative field. So like, and so does his mum. So like, yeah, I think that's important too.
And the piggyback off of you, Renee, there was like this discourse surrounding like, oh, he's only 20 years old. He didn't actually direct the movie. They had someone do it for him. And I'm like, do you know how many of our favorite legendary directors were not even 30, not even 25 when they directed some of the biggest movies ever in history?
I mean, it's pretty funny that he had the confidence kind of to cast Mark Duplass as the scientist. You only see in small parts, because if anyone really had like the skill set to direct something on like a small budget, which this was not that small of a budget, but it's like, it would be him. But still, Mark Duplass came out and was like, oh no, I just showed up. Like I just did
because there was this big stupid internet rumor that it was shadow directed by someone else and blah blah blah, but ridiculous, right? But it's
full poppy bullshit. It's like because no one wants to see someone else who's younger than them, who hasn't done the hard yards, like. You know what I mean? Like it's an insecure person's thing, and like people feeling resentful because someone else managed to get something they didn't. Like exactly. I know all about it because Australia is so tall poppy, so it's something that we always deal with here. But like when I saw that stuff and then Mark Duplass came out, I was like, yeah, dude, like just let it go, man. People are just jelly belly.
Yeah. I think and this is kind of builds off that same point too, that he became the youngest filmmaker to reach #1 at the box office. And before that was Chronicle in 2012, which that was like Josh Trank, and he was like, at the time, like one of the youngest and not the youngest. I think it was at 27 years old. And before that was Jaws, which Spielberg at 28.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like in a rich history. And so and then I was like, because at first I was like, why is Spielberg opining about this? I'm like, oh yeah, because he like broke his record
James
for
Cameron
Jaws.
was not even 30 when he directed Aliens and the Terminator. Like it's insane. And also Orson Welles was 25, a rough 25 when he did Citizen Kane.
25 looked like 45. Yeah,
I think when he did Boys in the Hood. Like it's crazy that people forget that a lot of these directors are not like 50. They're not perfectly 50-year-old men. They were young, very young once upon a time, and directing blockbuster hits after hit after hit.
Yeah, I mean, there was also Obsession came out a couple weeks before that, and Curry Barker.
The need for something different.
It was not his. It was not his like feature film. I guess he made a short, like an indie film before this. But he was kind of very early, and he was only 26. He's born in 1999, which is crazy to think. Like,
it makes me say, what the fuck was I doing in 1999?
I was already paying taxes. I'd lived on my own for like 4 years.
Every afternoon. Times in the morning.
He was another YouTube guy. Because he had
that's
a bad idea. So he was another YouTube guy turned, because that's obviously the tool you use when you can't afford to make a movie and you're young and you're just trying to.
Yeah, that's your Super 8 movie or whatever of the now. But it's interesting. Two things. It's interesting that, of course, you mentioned the intro, Forrest, that of course the movie studio is going to learn all the wrong lessons from all of this. 100%, like they always do. But
unless they want to make Squidward Suicide the movie.
But I think if Obsession had not come out at the same time, the only story we'd be hearing about was is Kane Parsons, neo surreal tour de force, right? Yeah. And we are still hearing a lot about it, but everyone, but Obsession, and I'm not here to talk about Obsession. I got thoughts about it.
I watched it today.
Oh, did you?
Okay.
Yeah.
We're just really just piling them all in. It's like Obsession. We got Odyssey. We got Backrooms. We're doing the Terminator pictures.
Titanic.
But yeah, Renee, I've never seen
2026 classic 2026. New film Titanic.
Yeah.
So Renee, I've never seen the movie Titanic, and I'm going to watch it for the show, and we're going to cover it week after next. So
okay, Conan, good luck. It's one of my favorite films of all time.
I avoided it for 20.
It's 3 hours. I'll never get back. But enjoy.
I was even a Kate Winslet fan because I loved Heavenly Creatures.
I love Kate Winslet. I love her, but the film.
Kristina,
it's taken 900. It's not my vibe.
As someone who went
900 hours of Kristina's life.
Me neither.
Yeah, exactly. If when I saw it for the 25th anniversary, I was the only girl in the theater, and I thought I was with gay men. Oh no, there were straight men, and I'm like, oh, they're here to see Kate Winslet's boobs, right? No, they're like move.
But here's the thing: is we're doing blockbusters. It's Blockbuster Month, and it was like, okay, that's an obvious choice. And if ever I was going to do it for the show, which I said I would do, I said the only reason I would watch it would be as a bit for the show, and then okay,
and then Kristina didn't say anything. You're like, the only reason why I would do it is am I talking to nobody right now? I said I would do it.
Oh, I mean, I fully expect it's gonna be Kristina shouting tidbits and trivia about the Titanic the entire time, and then like, so Conan, what'd you think? I thought the last 2 minutes. I think is what it's gonna be.
Exactly. Time to shine.
I'm prepared.
But it was important for us to do at least one indie blockbuster. I feel like when we do these blockbuster, I think our first time doing it. It's like, there are indie films that are blockbuster hits as well. It's not, your James Camerons and your George Lucases or your whatever. A film like this is important because it shows that you could get someone young, someone who actually has creativity.
An original idea, even though it is like a group sourced idea. It's like he did the most. I mean, have you? I would guess the answer is no, because there's a lot of backroom stuff that's not Kane Pixels, and it's.
I felt,
but it's technically an open source project. It's just the stuff he did is rad, and everything else sucks.
Doing clean outs for empty construction buildings, like empty office buildings. I felt like when I was younger, I felt like, oh my god, I'm in the back room.
Well, there's the whole vibe, and I Conan would know what I mean because we're the two oldies here. This is like all of our parents. Kind of workplaces. It's like their workplaces and the schools and stuff. Like that carpet. I remember sitting on that carpet. I can smell it.
Oh yeah.
I can feel it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Actually, when I was
chains.
Yeah.
When
and
I was
then I
younger,
remember like in like classrooms and stuff having those like lights, and then like I remember one of the first office jobs I ever had like that kind of like it was kind of like when everyone was focused on that whole like very like officey, like everyone's like
cubicle jungle.
Like, kind of like before it kind of like, and and then it kind of transformed and everything got a bit more modern, and then it's like obviously now everyone's like open plan and like whatever, but it gives me such flashbacks, and anyone I guess like in our age group and older would recommend like
sure. I mean, I worked in that kind of office environment too.
When I was younger,
Office Space came out and destroyed that aesthetic.
It really did. Not as much as it should have, but it definitely was like, oh, you've hit on something here.
I remember the type of carpet because when I was younger, my mom, when she would work at the what we call it the learning center in Freehold, where my sister went to school, she would also do custodial work on the weekends. So I would hang out in the library on the big bang chair on this type of carpeting, watching PBS, drinking juicy juice, and eating, little snacks or whatever. So it's like it almost, I feel like for millennials and like Gen X, it almost feels very nostalgic watching this film. It almost feels like you're stuck in a very specific time capsule at a time and decoration that doesn't exist anymore because everything's so minimal. Everything's white and bland and gray and whatever.
Yeah, it's like that polyester kind of carpet, right? Like it's kind of like scratchy.
Yeah,
and it's sort of
don't get a rug burn.
It ain't nice. It's like that's where that's the true carpet burn. You know what I mean? Like burn fucking burns. When you just like you would slide on it and go like no, like it comes from somewhere. It's not new. This is the kind of newfangled modern
and
stuff.
all of that. It's interesting to see it interpreted by somebody so young because it is kind of an alien-ish environment. Even if you are used to it, it's an alien-ish environment. It's not meant to feel homey. It was meant to be an office, right? But like to have that fish out of water style feeling amplified as like a larger thing is just like what an interesting, simple but cool idea. And then they have to think, and it's also occupied. And you're like, what? I'm sorry, what did you say? What?
Yeah.
What?
Well, yeah, it's kind of like a lot of the stuff that I've seen coming out as well around Backrooms. It's like this group. It's also tapping into that whole thing at the moment of people returning to analog and like all the like the Gen Z and lower, like they're all like wanting to go back now. It's like let's be on offline more. Let's like use analog cameras to take stuff for our Instagram. Let's do this.
You're so right.
iPods, like
tapes.
They're like it happened to us and it happened to the generations before us where we like want to like I remember we were obsessed with the 60s and 70s and like all the outfits and the fashion and the like mid-century furniture and like blah blah blah. And it's kind of like it's a similar thing, and like now these generations are doing the same thing where they're kind of like romanticizing like what was our kind of like thing, and like now they're like turning to that.
There's also like I feel like a rejection of the minimalization of space, like throughout the aesthetics.
Joy.
Well, the aesthetics of space throughout this time period has been like. As kind of America kind of attempts to downsize, not the big corporate behemoths, but like the normal person attempts to downsize. There's like more of a focus, I think, culturally on these smaller spaces. It's like every ounce of space has to be used, has to serve a functional purpose. We're like almost fetishizing like the way that Japanese style like apartments and houses are, where everything has to be accounted for. Or like there's always these articles about how people are like sleeping in pods essentially because they don't. There's housing insecurity, and I feel like there's nothing more maximal use of space than the idea of like a liminal space. Like it's between two places, and the entire thing is not really used for anything in this entire in the entire back rooms, right? Like everything is kind of off. Everything it's the opposite of the minimalist kind of like everything has to be used like utilitarian purpose.
And a lot of it's because these are spaces that were once utilized and had a purpose that don't now. Like that's the abandoned mall aspect of it as well. And real quick to tag on the earlier point that Renee made, I mean, I know lots of friends bands that are like like let's just say younger class of band that like they literally will film videos on like old school like shoulder camcorders and are like into it like as a thing, and that's something that is they have I should know I get ads for it, freaking constantly on Instagram. They have like, you know, digital cameras that will shoot in that style and things like that. And it's like one of those things where it's like, when you told me, you know, like whatever, 92 or 93 when I got my first camcorder and we had our public access show, that kind of stuff would be fetishized, because all I wanted a film camera, and I was like, well, that's not going to happen. There's no way that's going to happen. But like, you do have this, so what can you do with this? And to see that and sort of that 90s indie mindset push forward, but like approach totally differently is like really exciting to me, where it's like, oh, that's awesome, because that is not how it was used at the time. You know, and even like when people think of it, they think of something like sexualizing videotape or something, which is like, okay, I mean, yeah, fine. But it's like, yeah, that's sort of like the dumbest example of what you can think of.
Or, I mean, or Blair Witch Project. Like, Blair Witch Project
was significantly later, but yeah, that's a great usage of it, right? That's one of the...
It's definitely it's the tail end. It's the latest you can really be in the
It's
90s.
the tail end, and unfortunately... Hollywood learned all the wrong lessons. Like, oh, we should do shaky cams for everything. No, don't. We're all gonna vomit.
But it's like, you know? all of that found footage stuff comes out of the you know, out of it, like out of the Blair Witch Project, and so much of it. I mean, yeah, so much of it.
It mainstreamed really at the Blair Witch Project.
Do we need how many Paranormal Activities?
Yeah.
I'm sure there were indie horror films that utilize the heck out of that too.
Yeah.
But
many, and that's a separate story.
Blair Witch is the only like found film that I actually like. Like, I'm a horror nuthead, and found footage is like my least favorite genre of all time. But this film, like, didn't even strike me as a found footage film.
Yeah.
Strangely enough, like I didn't even think it was. Like, I don't even consider it one. Like, it's kind of like
I like this one. I liked I think 10 Cloverfield Lane, the one with John Goodman. Where
Man Bites Dog is amazing.
Yeah,
but like Man Bites Dog is like,
I love that one.
Yeah, and that's these are kind of exceptions.
Junior though.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say I can count on one hand like the amount of found.
There's not that many good ones, and there's so many where it's like, oh my god, you just decided to make a crappy movie that everyone like goes running around with a camcorder. Okay, great, you know. But like,
Paranormal Activity is just like one after the other. Like, it's snore fest.
I know there's completely. It's not creative in any way, shape, or form. It's not to my sensibility. Is a nicer way to say that.
To my sensibility.
Exactly. It's not to my sensibility. But I think that it's notable. Like, all this is purposed in a really cool way in this movie, and again, without betraying what made the YouTube series interesting in the first place, but like not having that be the whole thing. Like, the whole thing was like shaky, you know, first person shooter style, like camera. Like, I mean, that'd be horrible. And that's like what I just assumed that they were gonna make when I heard they're making a movie. I'm like, that's gonna suck. Like, what was it when they made that the Doom movie or whatever? I don't, you know what? We're just like, oh, what are you doing? Come on, stop it.
I'll start with the plot summary.
Okay.
Just so we get the show on the road.
Yeah.
On June 19th, 1990, a researcher with the Async Research Institute, Naren Warren, is separated from his group and becomes lost in the Backrooms, a labyrinthian extra-dimensional space containing a chaotic expanse of dull yellow rooms, fluorescent lights, long corridors, and malformed furniture. While attempting to call for a rescue, Naren is chased and attacked by an unseen entity. Async scientists watched recovered footage of the incident.
All right, so this is such a badass way to just drop us in, because we don't know what the hell's going on. We're like, what? Where is he? What's happening? But like, you get the mood immediately, and you get that like sense of unease and dread. Like, and I think that one of my main problems with modern horror movies is very little dread.
Yeah,
it's mostly jump scares.
Like that, like it's like the jump scares is what's supposed to get you, but you need that build up of feeling anxious and the dread and like the expecting the unexpected.
And this is. Oh, it's just gonna to cap that. This is very much like, this is what like the episodes of the web series are like.
Yeah,
like they'll just end abruptly and like. So
I was gonna make the point that it kind of perfectly balances out, because I've seen like the first episode now of the web series. I didn't know it existed before seeing the movie, but it perfectly balances out kind of the expectations of someone going into this after watching the web series and being like, oh, they made a movie out of the web series, because it is like the web series, but also people that have never seen the web series and they're like, what the heck is this?
Yeah, what is this? Like, well, and there's it's such an effective thing. And I was actually just watching about an hour ago because I think I mentioned in the private chat. I rewatched the thing, but I rewatched it out of order because I really wanted to see from the dinner scene on last night, and then I watched from the beginning to the dinner scene this time. And watching them out of order, I feel like it's very much in the spirit of the narrative, such it is as it is, because then we get dropped in just with not knowing who are these guys. If you don't know anything about it, what is this dude even doing here? What's happening? But when you see that figure, that shadowy figure, come in the door, down, way down the hallway, I knew it was coming. I still was like, oh crap. So that's an effective movie,
Mm-hmm. Sometime later, Clark, a failed architect who owns a struggling furniture store, attempts to cope with his alcoholism and dissolved marriage. He sees therapist Mary Klein, who is working through trauma from the demolition of her childhood home and agoraphobic mother's institutionalization. Clark recruits his... Oh, wait, we can stop there if you guys have anything to say about this scene.
I mean, yeah, Renee, you got anything that you want to chime in on that piece of it?
No, but I'm interested to talk about that more.
Yeah, I mean, I think we, we get, he's a frustrated architect, right? He considers himself an architect. And what is the Backrooms if not architecture, by the way?
He's probably this looks awful.
But he's basically a high functioning alcoholic. And it's got this goof ass. By the way, the Ottoman Empire, amazing, great pun work. Great pun work.
You've heard of the Roman Empire.
I love the are you a sultan or a pirate?
Because they're shooting this commercial, right? And this is one of these commercials you used to see back when. By the way, they still exist in the Midwest.
Let me intro this. Clark recruits his assistant manager Kat and her boyfriend Bobby to film a television commercial featuring himself dressed as the store's pirate mascot. All right, there we go.
Yeah, and it's someone even dug up a real life commercial that they must have just based that off of. But this is very much in the. That was everywhere when we were kids. That was all over the place. It was just the production quality. Was he somebody? My nephew's got a camcorder. It's
There's always standing in the middle of a store, just being and there, ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's so well parodied, that entire genre, I guess, of local commercials on Better Call Saul, where
because that was a whole genre of them, right? Which was the shifty lawyer. Slipping Jimmy.
Slipping Jimmy.
The furniture store place, there's still places here that are like that, and I don't know how they still run, but they're modern, but they're still empty. And I just
there's nobody in there buying anything.
I mean,
is it a mob front? Are they laundering money? What's happening in these
people
furniture
buy
stores?
it online, I guess. They don't actually, but they still have a physical, even though they don't need it. But there's this massive mall near my, in my neighborhood, not that far away. And whenever I go there, they're always across the road from a mall. They'll have a huge, industrial area that's massive, those shops of different things. You know what I mean?
They have those all over.
One will be spas, and one will be you know what I mean?
Suburban New York. Every time I go to a suburb in New York that has a mall, there's always a furniture store. Of course, they've been replaced a lot of times by Ashley's Furniture, a chain.
A lot of the and this is kind of a little tangent I'm going to go on, but it comes to a lot of these places that are closing down, they become mattress stores, or they or furniture stores, or they even close after a while, because a lot of these fast food joints are being built in a way that looks very bland and safe for insurance policies or whatever. So if you wonder why your Wendy's or your McDonald's is all bland and brown, well, it's because that franchise could close down and it could become a furniture store that's going to close in 3 months after it opens.
Well, I also love that, speaking of liminal spaces, right? Spencer's owns the Spirit Halloween stores, so they have their side business doing all the Spirit Halloweens, which is perfectly the perfect liminal business.
They're doing Spirit Christmas next too. I'm oh god,
whatever the thing was and whatever it's going to be.
Yep.
I keep thinking about is there an equivalent of DoorDash but for furniture? What? How do they pick this up? Do they have to go pick it up themselves?
Conan, I swear to God,
is that our next $1 million idea?
You can. They're available on DoorDash, the furniture stores.
I do own a van.
I'm why is Ashley's Furniture on here? What's going on?
You know the place where you ask people hey, can you fix my fence, or hey, can you
pick
this up for me? What's that called?
TaskRabbit or what have you?
Task. Task something or other.
Task Rabbit, I believe, up here. Could be Task Dingo down there for all I know. Thank you.
They're like
Task something else here. It's not called.
All right, let's call him up on Task Dingo. We gotta fix this fence.
You know what I mean?
Mark the time. 45 minutes before we got an Australian dig in. So there you go. Pretty good.
You did.
You're like,
It would have been 45 seconds in the old days.
the task
Task Dingo is pretty good, actually.
The task dingo guy stole my baby.
Yes, that's
Not again. Clark. Yeah. Having taken up residence in the store, he notices a lights flickering mysteriously at night and his television functioning erratically. While checking the breaker box, Clark notices a glowing slit in the wall. Approaching it, he falls through and enters the back rooms. Well, there's a lot that happens between. He gets the guy to come and look at his thing. Well, I love that line where he goes, what is that? The two breaker things on the bottom. And he goes, the better question is, what's it connected to?
Yeah, it's so good. And by the way, as a son of an electrician, I almost want my dad to see this movie just so he can Task Dingo. No, I mean, I think he would get a kick out of that because I've seen him when a movie comes on, we're watching and like somebody's doing something for electrical and he's like talking trash or whatever. But like when I saw that, I was like, that's nuts. Like, what is that all about? And it was such a small little production design point to have those like extra switches at like this cocked off crazy angle that I think that's a great way to kind of bait the hook, even if you don't even know what this movie's about. Like, I don't know, that's weird, right? And then the build up, I think there's not too much build up to Clark going into the back rooms. I think it's like just the right amount because he's sort of trying to like figure out what it is. And then when you see him go through, it's like, oh wow, like it's pretty jarring. It's like some real Lion Witch in the Wardrobe kind of stuff, So I think it's played off well.
Yeah,
less Christian overtones though.
Clark finds Darren's belongings and narrowly escapes back to the store when an unseen entity chases him. An instinct scientist, Phil, watched these events on a surveillance camera. And that's of course when we get introduced to an extremely confused-looking Mark Duplass.
Mark Duplass is just watching it, yeah. By the way, he also finds the backpack of the dude that died in the first the first sequence, right? And it's kind of hidden.
That's Darren's belongings.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So that was the character's name. Okay, got it.
Yeah. His name is. Wait. It was hard to say. His name is Naren Warren, but it's like spelled like it's spelled with the extra.
It cracks me up because say it again. When you say it, Forrest.
Naren Warren?
Yep. So it sounds to me like in Australia, in Melbourne, we have a suburb called Narry Warren. It's just, every time you say it real fast, it sounds like I'm like, did they name it after a suburb?
Yeah,
maybe it is. Yeah,
maybe that wasn't his. Maybe that wasn't his name. It's like the place he's coming from, and he tries to write it down.
Yeah, maybe.
I wanted one thing that I wanted to say when he's entering, and this is like the difference between watching this, I guess watching it at the movies, but also watching it, where it doesn't have subtitles and watching it with subtitles. Yeah. You hear all the voices when he's walking through, and there's all these voices that are like talking to each other, and like they're really low, so you can't really hear anything that they say. And when you watch it with the subtitles, it gives you all the different languages of people. Like there's so many of them. Like there's even like. There's like even dialects of like Indian.
So yeah, I got this. So that standee, the caveman standee, it's broadcasting from all dialects, and the reason why they chose a caveman is because it's considered that's at the time the most popular form of the antecedent of all the various races of the human race. So it was used to establish contact for alien races. They were like, well, we better come up with something that has a baseline of communication that we can start with that includes all languages, so on and so on. And I think this is so important because like jumping way ahead with Mary, talking to the Mark Duplass character, they have like, is it this guy? And they have Clark in that scene, but they have it blacked out, like pornography or something. And I think that's so telling to the async of it all, who are trying to make contact with things in the back room for what purposes, who knows? But it's a corporation, so draw your own conclusions. But I think, these are actual.
how do we sell office space in the back rooms?
You're not that far off. And again, not to do the thing, because I think bringing up the web series is the equivalent of bringing up things that happen in the book to a certain degree. But he has said over and over again that there's a strict continuity between all of them.
Yeah.
And at one point, they're talking to a government official in the H.W. Bush era about possibly using it as to take care of the housing shortage and to like store nuclear waste, and it's like, oh my god. So these are ways that like they could move forward with like a sequel that like is exploring those kinds of things, which is sort of like, oh my god, that's horrible. Do you not know what this is? And the answer is no, they don't.
But you know what they'd actually use it for though, right? It would be just the world's largest black site. Because
like a prison. Yeah.
International law probably does not apply in the back rooms, so you can probably.
It's like interdimensional Australia.
You can do pretty much. Yeah, I mean, Australia does have that with Five Eyes, but you can go as far as you want into there, and then have like detainees or something in there. You can torture them.
Yeah,
there's no.
But it's like that's explored in one of the backroom shorts, and in the continuity that happens after this, in the continuity of the web series. Some of it happens before, some of it happens after, and there's also, and we'll get to this as well. Canonically, he has said that time does not work the same way in backrooms as it does outside. So I think all that's very fascinating. But this is all. So these are all things that are on the golden record. You know, the one that was sent out in space for contacting extraterrestrials and whatnot. It's like that's the thing that they're doing with the caveman speaking. But it's so creepy. It's so creepy when you just hear like something down the way. Like, what is that? Like, is that like a record?
Like,
what is
I hear things? I was like, what?
And it's done so effectively. This is our first glimpse of the back rooms. We see the furniture like half buried and kind of mutated. You know, we see the shoes and we see like the weird sort of like, here's like an indentation for like no specific reason that we're immediately able to tell. Like we getting all of the elements of the back rooms in this initial visit, and
you also get the stop sign from outside, and one of the first things you see is the backward stop sign, which is in the series they have the stop sign as well, and a lot of it is just pots instead of stop because it's being misremembered by the room, and then it shows you later on when he gets back out that same stop sign is outside of, so it's just taking the memory of what it sees from outside.
Yeah, absolutely.
I love how I don't know, like. There's that, like, I feel like it's like almost this weird, like, human primal instinct to, like, I don't know, it definitely is for me, that when there's nothing, I'm more curious to find something. Like, you know, like if you had walked in and it was completely full, it's not as exciting as nothing. And I feel like you kind of, like, keep digging because there's nothing. It's like this, like, infernal challenge. You're, like, got to keep going because until you find something,
which is basically what Kane Parsons said about, like, he says that he has these dreams, these recurring dreams that are like liminal space dreams, but his thing is that he always he wants to go further into them, and he gets fascinated by whatever space is in his dreams. He gets fascinated and has to like look at every piece of it.
And I think that, you know, just things like with the security camera and what have you, that even like they took the time to do the race tracking of it, where it's like they cover the cable covering and stuff like that, where it's like, oh, this is meant to like be here for a while. Like this is not like some slapdash operation, and you get these contest clues without anybody like sitting around announcing it.
Well, I mean, they might be sitting around now, see, we don't know because they're speaking in a different language.
Oh, well, yeah, exactly. but yeah, just like the caveman thing, because you hear this, you and you're like, what is that? And you're like, it's a, it's have your picture taken with like Batman or something, but it's like a caveman instead, and it's got those, it's just off-putting. It's kind of creepy because you don't know why it's there.
I haven't looked into whether this is like well, I was gonna say conspiracy theory, but theory about the movie is that he never actually leaves the back rooms in my mind, because when we see him in the next scene after this, the therapist's office is actually the size has been messed with, so it's actually small. The dimensions of the therapist's office are actually smaller, and they're backwards from what he sees. And then he goes out, and the neighborhood he arrives in looks like the sky is fake behind him. And in my head, I was like, well, I'm not saying that this is what I think that they were doing in this, but in my head, I was part of me was like, could it be like, is there some theory out there that like he never actually leaves the back rooms from this point?
That's possible. The one thing that the director has said that is for sure not the case is that it was all a dream. He's like that. It's definitely.
Oh, no,
but like that idea. Yeah, I know what you're saying. But like it's also, we get to a little later, but we have like the neighborhood that has like the painted sky and stuff like that, right? Like I think it's intentional. And I think we're meant to sort of question what we're seeing quite a bit because we have unreliable narrators, right? Like even Mary has her own preconceptions and biases as well. Which,
by the way, Real Neighborhood taken filmed by Kane Parsons and his team, and then they actually took that neighborhood and went into Blender with it, and then took out the sky and then put in their own sky. And took out the garages and put their own garages and like messed with it that way. But I was gonna say, as you go into the back rooms, it filters through your memories. It remembers things that you are remembering on top of everything else.
That's right.
So that's where that theory came from in my head. I was like, what if they're just going through the memories of things that places he's seen, and replicating them endlessly?
Yeah. Well, I feel like that's the whole point is they're playing with that whole concept of what is and what isn't, and what you think you know versus what is and what could be, what wasn't. You know what I mean? Like it's all fucked up. Like, because when you think back on stuff, like even, if you think back on, your childhood, like even just childhood home, like something looks like, the hallway seemed like it was fucking, 5 houses long, and like all the little parts of things are completely skewed based on what it was at the time or what you thought or the way you interpreted it, which then again later is something totally different when you go back.
Absolutely, you get something different out of it, and I think I think it's very effective for sure. Okay, so so let's get back to the plot summary here, right?
So after days of exploring, Clark tells Mary about the back rooms, but is met with skepticism. And in a proof, Clark brings Kat and Bobby into the back rooms to film their discoveries. While exploring...
I was going to say, I think that's done really well, too, because they aren't just immediately on board. They're like, dude, what? Like, what's with this room, by the way? Which is a perfectly valid question to ask.
He shows up at their house, and they're already like, what the because I assume he probably got their address from like their pay stubs or something like that. Like, not that you ever see that, but it's like.
And also, like, why is he hiring this girl? Like, what is she doing? She's like, I was like,
reading.
There's no one in the store. Yeah, no, but she getting paid. I'm like, you getting paid for this? Like, what's the purpose? It's funny.
Well, he offers them like as if they're.
No, I mean for her debt for the actual day job.
The amount of money that they would get.
Oh yeah, exactly, yeah. Which, but I mean, and that's, but so Kat and Bobby are not on board immediately. Like Bobby's more interested probably, but like I like that they're like they're as skeptical as Mary is, right? And until they actually see him go through it, and they're like, oh my god, that's crazy.
They have to also know that this is like an alcoholic that's living in the furniture store.
They're like, he's a little.
It doesn't seem like in this.
He's so depressing. Like he's very depressing.
But in this chronology, I kind of not sympathize, but like as someone that my dad's an architect and work was on and off for a little while when I was a kid, like because he, it took a while for him to establish himself back here. After moving out of the city, so in my head I'm like frustrated architect is like an archetype of somebody that I do understand, but it can't be that long between his divorce where he's kicked out of his house, which I would assume is because you see him outside of the house, it's like a nice house, and he's like he's like creeping on his own house, and then this moment where he's a full-blown alcoholic living in the furniture store. I assume it's not that long a time period between the two, so you have to imagine like he hired these employees and then completely crashed out, and like that's what we're kind of experiencing in the
we see his rival. He watches a commercial of his rival, the cowboy guy, right?
It's like way better.
Like and the guy's the commercial's way better. One can imagine it's a more successful store. I mean, maybe there's 2, possibly 3 customers, which would be more successful than what he's got.
Well, hey there, partner. Let's go down to the back rooms right now.
All right, Kristina, want to continue?
Okay. So while exploring a steeply sloped corridor, Bobby is ambushed and fatally dragged away by unseen entity.
Pause right there. One of the craziest scenes of the movie, because the whole time you're like, oh man, and he goes down and it's a thing where it's like, and there's just like clothing everywhere, like disused clothing. It's like that's This doesn't look very good.
It almost reminds you of like the shoes in the Holocaust Museum.
Yes. Yeah, here's what was left. Right, absolutely. And that's, I think that's played for just enough tension, because you have, him saying like, "Oh wow, what knot is this? Like, I can't get this untied when he gets back up," and you're like, "Get fucking cut it, just cut it, get a knife and cut it." Yeah.
It's also the fact that
I would always bring a knife as being lowered into anything. By the way, thank you.
the fact that he makes it all the way back up on time, like whatever, and then gets yanked back down is very effective too.
Yeah.
Because it's like whatever's chasing him has like the strength and the power to pull him right back down again.
Yeah.
And we don't see, right? We don't see what it is, and that's again. How much less effective would it be if it was like some, crappy CGI sci-fi channel looking monster? And we're like, all right, I don't care about that.
I was like, it looks like an underground Skid Row.
I think that it works really well. That
looks like to me.
As he's pulled back down, everyone else goes down with him, and you see the of the actual camera. They found footage of the camera, which is like when you look back at something like Blair Witch Project, the most effective use of the found footage thing is when it's like shaking like this, and you know that something's attacking, but you can't see what it is.
And then you get the static shot, usually on its side or something. And in this case, we get that side door, because it's one of those things where there's a door, but it's like flipped the other way around, and you see like it closing. Like, what went in that? What was that? That's crazy. It was a super effective scene. It made me unfortunately think about Async being like, "Hey, we solved the unhoused crisis. We're just gonna play out the back rooms."
Yeah, well, that's what I mean. Skid Row, that with the pile of the the stuff when they first went down, I was just like, it's Skid Row in LA, and they just built it in there.
You just see Rudy Giuliani feeding the homeless into the back room.
pushing him in, and you also
get into the back room. Trust me, you're gonna love it in there. You'll have a place to live. With that,
Bobby's End Apartheid T-shirt is in there as well, which is again goes to the
Skid Rooms. I like that.
Skid Rooms. Nice. All right, Kristina, please.
Clark and Kat frantically give chase through an unexplored area where they are separated, carrying the camera. Clark eventually encounters two other humanoid entities that chase him into a dead end, with Kat able to see him through a wall, but not vice versa. An entity picks up the camera after Clark sets it down, as Kat screams for Clark to look behind him.
Crazy, like incredibly effective scene. Because you get first, it's a room with a Christmas tree. Right, you go in, there's just a Christmas tree in a room, and like you're first like, are those bodies? And you're like, no, they're mannequins. They're mannequins like halfway
think of, like,
in the floor.
Your childhood Christmas, nostalgia, the 90s and early 2000s, and you're like,
but it's all perverted and strange and crazy. Yeah. And then he goes around the side, and you're like, is that a mannequin, or is that a person? And it's our good buddy Half Dome there, who only switches lights on and off. That's his sole task. He's very good at his job. But we see that, and then we see his like the still life of, and what we later come to learn is his wife. But all we see is like a person coming at him, like in this like really like surreal, Nicholas Winding Refn style colored lighting, and it's so jarring because you're like, oh my god, like it's another, because it's not like a jump scare would be like something's jumping at you. There's no jumping. It's like a shambolic walk. It's a saunter towards him, really. But we get the first visual we get is the half guy clicking the light on, and then we see the person walking, and it's so unnerving.
It reminds me,
and it's creepy. It's not terrifying. Yeah. It's like just like creep level 10.
The Half Dome guy reminds me of the Rick and Morty bit. The robot's like, "What's my purpose?" And it's like, you pass butter.
Right. That guy turns the light on and off.
Yeah. What is my purpose? You flick the light on and off.
And so we see, so on his way to the pool, right? And we get little snapshots, and this is very clever of Kane to do, because there was that, I don't know if you guys ever followed that Liminal Spaces Instagram account. Like some of the set work that's in there, it is not actually stuff that's in the web series, but it's like references and homages, some of like the more interesting images that we're seeing, and kind of puts it.
That was one that had like it had subway lines too, right? If I remember.
And there's water and what have you, yeah. And so that I thought was really kind of cool and clever for him to do. And then we get that thing that she can see him. This is talk about a nightmare, right? She's like, I can see you, like, let me in. And it's like, it's a wall. I can't. Like, isn't that like complete nightmare fodder of which is like these sort of like inexplicable phenomenon. And then again, we get the static shot, and then we don't know what happens.
I was thinking about like police stations that have the one-way glass, where you never actually really trust that the person can't see you on the other side. But we were watching Cape Fear, recently with Eileen Jones while you were on tour, and they have that scene where it's like he can't see you. This is one-way glass, and he looks directly at him, Robert De Niro, as he's watching him, and it's like, I think you can see. But yeah, it's that kind of inherent distrust of the one-way glass that I feel like plays into it here, because you're like, Is Clark kind of lying, or can he actually not?
And we don't know, right? Because at this point in the story, we assume best effort, best faith, because we're kind of along for the ride with him, and he's like, scared out of his wits. But yeah, so what we see is like, as you said, Kristina, an entity like picks up the camera, so also terrifying, right? And then, but what that is that's the still form of his wife. That isn't any other aggressor. So that's something I didn't. That's something I didn't catch till this viewing. I didn't catch because I was just like, oh my god, crazy nightmares. So there you go. All right, my turn. Sometime later, Mary receives a cryptic answering machine message from Clark, who tells her that he is staying in the back rooms and will not return.
He's like, he has to be like a nightmare patient for like a therapist watching this or something, because he goes from. He's like, the therapy is clearly not working for him. He refuses to take accountability for anything in their back and forth. She's like, let's try this exercise where it's, I pretend to be your wife. And of course that comes back up later on in the telling of this. But it's like he refuses to take any accountability. It's his wife's fault. His wife kicked him out. He's obviously very angry and bitter about that. He's angry and bitter about he's not a very good architect from the drawings that we see. Like, they're kind of weird. Like, they are kind of backrooms kind of drawings. Like, these like futuristic city buildings that he's creating. And the one time we really see something that he's designed. And then his map of the backrooms isn't great either. But he's on the fly. But he has those, and then he seems like he's constantly breaking down. He's a functioning alcoholic that doesn't, he's like, oh, I just had a couple drinks. And even in the back and forth between him and the therapist, it's like, how many is a few? Because it's like, this guy clearly is drinking all the time. And,
2 or 3 small beers.
And it's like, he's like, oh, are you going to 5150 me? I would not trust anyone that knows that phrase.
That knows what that is, because they clearly at least looked it up. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, I agree, nightmare patient. Sure.
I was 5150 once.
But answering machines are so, and they're anachronistic, right? But it's something where it's such a great narrative device, and it's right down the line. It's like, this is 1990, so it's like the perfect timing for that. But yeah, and so I think all that works. But yeah, just him basically saying, "I'm not coming back." That's okay.
Yeah, I gotta say that part of the film
kind of relieved in a way.
Really, really made me sad. Hey.
Yeah,
that made me sad. 'Cause I was like, man. He actually truly believes that this is better. And I was like,
than what he has, yeah.
Yeah, I was like, man, you've given up.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, that's right.
It also makes me question. It also, if he could be in there, it makes me question his ability as an architect even further. If he could be in there and not go insane from like the structural deficiencies of everything.
Also, from the start of the film, he never once. I mean. Okay, he's an architect. Why is he selling the shittest furniture he could possibly ever sell? Number one.
Because his bitch ass wife.
Why does the shop look like shit? Why is the interior in every part of that building shit? Yeah. Like, the guy has no taste at all.
Also, the first thing he responds to the therapist is he's like, well, if you got up off your fat ass once in a while, there's such venom behind the way that someone who has been horribly abusive to their wife, and then it's like, I've got to say why she left me.
Did other people's parents say that? Because like, in Australia, that's such a common thing. Like, get off your fat ass. I say it all the time. Like,
yeah, but I mean, but it's
like, you know what I mean? Like when he says it, it sounded really like, I was like, Ooh,
There's some real venom behind it. Yeah.
But I feel like parents say that to kids when they're frustrated. I feel like it is kind of hitting like a knife when you're saying it to a partner who's supposed to be like an equal partner, right? Like
it's not what we call a hallmark of a healthy relationship. Let's put it that way.
Any tips for getting into the back rooms? How'd y'all get in there? I need to know. Through the wall, buddy.
Through the window.
Phil, who is Mark Duplass' character, the async scientist, the Backrooms researcher, is watching television with his family and recognizes Clark in his fuck-ass commercial for the furniture store.
Better call Clark.
Concerned about Clark, Mary visits the store, enters the back rooms herself. Another really great shot here. This is just like a we're getting a. This is the furniture store side, and then the camera is moving with her as she goes into it. Super cool shot. And overall, just in general, like great face acting work from Renate. Like, I mean, she's like killing the game and like doing like, final girl scream queen status. For this
and you're
stuff.
like watching it and you kind of like, you want her to find it because like you want it to be true, but you also want her to be like, oh, you fuck ass. But like, then she finds, you know what I mean? Like, but at the same time, you're like, yeah. Like when she sees her, I was like pumped.
It also switches from being like a film that feels like it is about Clark to being a film that feels like it is about her.
She kind of becomes the main character that way. We see things more from her perspective from then on. So,
go ahead.
Oh no, go ahead. That's fine.
No, I was just gonna say, kind of like the other thing that kind of like got me from the start was the paralleling between her and her childhood, and then like Clark dealing with his. It was kind of like on the whole time, it was kind of you're looking at these different levels. I felt like she, obviously the architecture thing, but then you're like her and seeing the name written in the concrete and her old house. You kind of like just the different ways that we all like internalize and build our own lore, essentially.
Yeah. Oh, and from the beginning, her like little kind of narration that's on her
oh my god, the commercial with her book.
Like, so bad.
The window within, right? That's
but you talk about rebuilding these neural pathways, and that is kind of the back rooms thing, where because when you think about what she's saying, she's like, we do the same thing over and over again, and we're stuck in this one pathway because that's the only way we know, and I can help you burst this open and create a different set of neural pathways, which obviously you find out, like, I don't think she knows. I don't think science.
She doesn't know really where that is. She's looking at stuff.
But also science, I don't think really is great at that right now.
Well,
I mean, she's having a TV dinner. You know what I mean? She's having a TV dinner.
It feels like mapping the human mind. Like the mind is always creating more and more and more of these rooms and misremembering and changing things. And so it feels like there's like the psychology of her specific thing. It feels like it's mirrored in this actual back rooms.
Well, also, if you think about it, so what we're talking about is Mary's trauma is mostly like childhood based, right? Like she was like, basically kept inside. Her mother was clearly, very.
Especially that's Kristina's mom. They're sisters.
Agoraphobic.
Agoraphobic is that what we call it now. But they both like Mary's character is in her way trying to be an architect as well, but like an emotional and like mental architect. Because what is being a psychiatrist, psychotherapist, what have you, if not trying to.
She's trying to fix surrogates, I guess. I feel like
right, but rather than physical structures, you're trying to do like people's internal part, and they're both kind of bad at it, frankly.
Yeah.
I mean, I love the character, but she's not very good.
No, she's not a good therapist. She's definitely not a good therapist. But she's also like, I feel like she's searching for, like, her trauma is like external in a sense, and his is internal. Like his
is self-imposed, as we get to.
And with her mother is clearly. So she's trying to change something external. He's trying to change. He's not trying to change anything really. He's trying to find an external way to make it. Rather than.
An external answer for stuff that he did.
Problem.
From the beginning, he says, "Oh, sorry, it's just the way I'm wired." That's like his first, and then obviously it's the greatest line delivery in a movie this year I've seen so far, where he says it again to his pirate self,
which we're about to get to. So let's. But before we do that, we get in because the the write-up doesn't mention this scene. We get that great scene of Mary seeing the writing, like the literal writing on the wall, all of Clark's notes, and all of the like the various like extremely normal things. Just writing on the wall. Writing out your thoughts, like actually, your journal, but it's a wall.
That. I wondered where I screen grabbed it when I had it because I was like, I want to look at this closer.
Well, and one of the things it says, if I remember correctly, is like don't move. Like it has some basically don't move quickly, move slow, or something along those lines. I can't remember what it is, and I got a thing for that we'll get into later. But before we do that, last line of this, an apparently psychotic Clark arrives. Hearing an entity approaching, he tries to calm Mary before choking her unconscious.
Crazy.
Very normal behavior.
Because he's talking, he's like, "Don't worry, it's me. It's me. It's me."
Yeah.
You better get out of there. It's him. It's him.
Yeah, exactly.
And you're like, that's what I want to hear my patient saying.
When he does that kind of like peek around the corner, like a child that just got discovered right on the wall or something. Like it's like it's cute for like a second, and then it's like not cute at all.
Well, and he's hiding and he creeps out like this. He's like,
yeah.
From one of these little sides of the wall in the background.
But again, this goes to the canonical explanation of that time doesn't always move the same within the Backrooms as does on the outside as well, which we'll get to. But yeah, let's move ahead with it. Forrest, you want to do the next one, or does that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mary awakens tied to a chair in a space resembling a dining room, occupied by Clark and 3 malformed and largely static imitations of humans called simulacrums.
So very much both Texas Chainsaw Massacre and David Lynch Fire Walk With Me vibes.
Yeah, definitely.
But not as in a ripoff, but just in a this isn't good. This isn't good. Yeah, and we have our friend Half Dome on the lamp still, so that's good. He's around.
Yeah. But it's the angle of the shot, we all know what happens when you got that angle that's going down and then people at the table like to eat. We know there ain't no eating. We know there's no eating. There ain't no eating about to happen here.
It's also it's the famous essay Simulacra and Simulation, which is simulacra are copies that depict things that either had no original or that no longer have an original.
Right.
So it's bringing back kind of deceased entities and trying to remember them. Clark demonstrates how they are made of an edible white substance.
Yo, how did he figure that out?
It looks like tofu.
What's going on here?
Really bad tofu.
It's like your neighbor trying to show you his new cooler. Oh, check it out! You can eat them too. It's like, whoa, dog, what?
Well, because he says they're just like humans, but they're an improvement on humans, and his improvement is you can eat them. And it's like, dog, I don't know if that's an improvement on humans.
Is that an improvement? Is it really? Okay.
And they're all like kind of lobotomy patient kind of, you know what I mean? Like they act like when you see people that have been lobotomized and they're like they're only able to do like a couple core functions, and it's like imagine taking a bite out of one of those people.
How did you figure that out? But then this goes into we don't know how long he's been down there, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So, clearly a while.
We also don't know that he's the original Clark. Like we don't like. That he's
we don't, and I want to speak to that for sure because I think that's interesting as well.
Clark demonstrates how they made it. Reveals cat severed head in a refrigerator. Apparently,
which he's completely nonchalant about. Oh yeah, I just keep that in there. What? I mean, I'm sorry. What? Like
he's
okay,
like I tried to help her, but
yeah.
But why didn't you eat that instead of
And why just the head? Yeah, I mean, there's so many questions here, right?
Did he eat the body and the head was left? Like, I was like, could be like he ate the rest, but didn't eat. But also,
and then he's like, "Oh snap! You can eat these guys, and it's like way tastier and more nutritious." Okay.
Yeah. And no blood in their mouth. I don't know.
Kind of reminds me of like pork buns, like the.
It looks like really plasticky, like silken tofu. That's what I was like. It's just like you're just kind of grabbing it, but like.
It also, I don't know why.
I kind of assumed he'd eaten Kat. That was when I saw that scene, I assumed he'd eaten her, and the head was left
and then only her head is left.
And then it's like, oh snap! All the people in here are filled up with pad thai. Awesome.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna.
It also it instantly reminds me of in Shrek when he's like, ogres are like onions, and he's like, what if you like cake? Everybody likes cake. He's like, ogres are not like cake, and it's like, well, apparently in the back rooms they are. Clark demands that Mary continue their therapy sessions.
Very normal.
First time that's ever happened. But she instead scolds Clark, telling him that his wife left him due to his inability to take responsibility for his failures.
Which, true, but very bold of her to be saying that in this situation.
In that situation, yeah, she's ballsy. I gotta say. I
love the way that she leads up to it though, where she's like, you can't stop working at your store. You blame that on, or you whatever. You have alcoholism. You blame that on your job. You can't whatever. You blame that on your wife. She's like, can you fucking tie me up? She's like, and then you say it's just your brain, motherfucker. You are your brain.
Yeah. And by the way, I love that when they get into the role play of it, and he literally cuts off the still forms like hair so she can have a more authentic wig, which is like real normal. Yeah. This is really, really productive and normal, and nothing bad will happen.
I'm sure she's happy she went looking for Clark in the back room.
Yeah, exactly. Could have
looking for Clark in all the wrong places.
Nothing good happens in the back rooms.
He begins to release Mary, but is interrupted by the arrival of a towering, distorted simulacrum himself, dressed up as the mascot.
And the still form. So first of all, Half Dome goes nuts. He's like, turn the light on and off, turn the light, because that's his only power to do anything or express himself, I guess. But like, that's nuts. And then
look behind you.
Right. And the still form of his wife just hauls ass and like into the corner and is like trying to get out, like like a scared hamster or like a malfunctioning video game character or something. And all of that is so effective that like we're already freaked out before we even like see the entity.
Yeah.
Right.
Well,
like that.
It reminds me, like, and I made this reference already. I think I'm making this in back-to-back episodes, but it reminds me of like Jurassic Park, where you hear.
Right, you hear it and like kind of see the effects before you see the thing. And
then like the very large dinosaurs that they're already watching run from the T-Rex, and they're stuck kind of being like, okay, what is this now?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, and so this rules. This is, stuff gets amped up to 11 very quickly. When we see, Pirate Clark come in, which, by the way, I was so stoked to find that was a real dude. Like, this wasn't it wasn't a CGI.
Talk about the real dude. He's so badass.
He's great. Like, what's so? Yeah, this guy's deal. He was in that Fakakta alien movie that came out most recently, right? He's the entity in that, I think, and that's how they came to know him.
Yeah, he's in Romulus.
Yeah, he's like he's 7'7".
Yeah.
Yeah,
so
he
was in Romulus from Romania. His name is Robert Broskowski, something or other. But he's like fucking tall. That's all I know. But he's a real ass human. I watched a ton of videos when I was watching this about him. Because I was
you think they would get him involved in basketball?
I think he was a basketball. He did do basketball.
I think he was, mate.
Yeah.
I think he was.
So, hold on. I got a picture of him. Him and Renate on scene. I gotta put this on again. Apologies for as always to the podcast listeners, but check this out. There he is.
Yeah, that was the one I just put up.
That was the same one you did.
Hold on.
It's all good. It's all good.
But he doesn't look like a real human. Like this guy. Like there's other scenes like and footage of him like when they're doing it. It's wild. Like amazing.
What's also great too is what's interesting, a lot of people
green screen for the peg leg. That's what I was trying to show.
Well, some people assume, with someone like his height, he probably has like a hormonal growth disorder or something. No, it's just he's just naturally that tall. Like, so he's not gonna like die really young from something, due to his height.
Yes, it's like it's strange. It's like because it does look like probably he's like 7'7".
I love the part where Captain Clark gives a hug to Clark. What a handsome scene. wholesome scene is what he meant to say. Yeah, so that's
there's him with the full
regalia.
Yeah.
That's awesome. No,
7 feet 7 inches.
I knew it was practical effects, but I guess I just assumed it was like an apparatus or something. The fact that it's like a dude is like, I mean, that's great. And I love that. They saw Romulus, alien Romulus, and so, like the creature that he played in that. And did the research. I love that.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, they actually they went deep on it. Like that's the thing that they did so well with this entire film, though, is that they went deep on everything, and like actually, they didn't just half-ass it and try to try to mainstream kind of like studio. They actually did try really hard to stick to the bones of it.
Dude stepped in a bucket of gag. Yeah, this is where my favorite line delivery in this movie comes in, where he's literally the monster lifts him up and has him right by his mouth. And he goes, "He says it's not our fault. It's just the way we're wired."
Yeah,
and he says it in this weird, quiet, like whispering voice. It's just the way we're wired, and you like get in that moment how insane this guy's been from whatever amount of time he's been in this thing. He's like, he thinks he's mastered the back rooms.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, and it shows how far gone. I mean, not that we didn't have an indicator with all, the, hey, you can eat them. And like, hey, there's a head in there. Don't take it out. I'm saving that for later. But
somehow like
what you thought it was going to be.
But somehow you see all of that, and you're going through all of that with him, or you're seeing him do all of that, and he's like, oh, this guy's nuts, clearly. But then somehow the craziest part is him whispering into like his doppelgangers, or his simulacrum.
Conspiratorially, yeah.
She says we can sleep over. It's fine.
Word.
Cornered by the Clark tries to calm the pirate monster. It's like something a little kid would think of, like, what's the scary monster in there? It's the pirate monster. Suddenly bites him to death, and then chases Mary through various chaotic and surreal spaces until they reach a flawed replica of the furniture store. Cornered by the monster, she bashes it in the face using a chunk of concrete from her childhood home.
Right, which she's been carrying around with her. By the way, first of all, we have a sort of the equivalent of like the Saturn devouring his son, the Goya painting kind of thing going on, which I appreciate. It was a feat art snob. I appreciated that. But I think that whole, like, this whole chase is like, this is like what Renee was talking about earlier, right? Like, because we get that scene that has like the stairway that goes up, and then but it's just like empty space for like, it goes down for like, and presumably for forever. And like she's just, she's really, there's the couch room, it's just the couches too, she has to like climb over the couches and what have you. It's just very, very much, nightmare fodder, really. Like,
I reckon that the couch room would be like way more hectic than it seems. Like, imagine trying to run really fast, like, and having to like go over, especially those fuck ass couches. They're like those real, what I mean? Like, you just feel,
and there's something chasing you, and you got to like get over these couches. Like, who the hell put these here?
Well, I mean, imagine if it was Texas Chainsaw, man. You should go get stuck in a fucking room like that.
Oh man,
no.
It's also
that crossover. They put Leatherface in the back rooms. Yeah, great.
It's a good year for Goya's Saturn devouring his children, because it's also Christopher Nolan said that was the painting that inspired like the way that he designed the Cyclops. And
yeah, sure. Oh yeah, very fresh in mind. Sure. Absolutely.
Yeah. Their struggle triggers an async gas trap, alerting a group of researchers in hazmat suits. They've been there the whole time. The monster is subdued, and Mary is taken to the research facility.
Yeah, I mean, they're probably watching, right? And I love.
Feel like
I was going from her perspective, saying,
"Oh, sure."
Been in there the whole time.
So first thing, that whole sequence is amazing, and Renata's doing such great work there. Of like, she tries, okay, we'll go this like narrow space. I'll go, I'll go over here. I'll go over there. Really effective stuff when she gets, and you think she's in the store, and she thinks she's in the store, and she goes to the front door and it just opens up to more back rooms. It's like, oh no.
Yeah.
Because especially if you're stressed out and like there's literally a monster pirate chasing you, like you're just like, hell yeah. All right, door, let's go, parking lot, get to the car, let's get going. And then it's just like, oh no, this is all still in the back rooms. 100%. Yeah. It's just a very, very good. And then also the way that the gas traps are set up, it's the same setup they have for the commercial.
Yeah.
Like, except for they have the caveman standee in the place of where Clark is usually when he's giving his speech. But like, they have it like in a semicircle in that same way. And that reminds me too of just being a dreamlike thing of that, like, things that don't make sense. Where it's like, oh cool, there's the exit. Nope, it's not the exit. You're still in you can't wake up yet.
It reminds me of that moment you remember, Conan, in season 1 of Legion.
Oh yeah, 7. Another one that does a really effective version of that. Yeah, absolutely.
Sequence where Dave is trying to get out of the his that state that he's in. He keeps going through the same doors over and over and over again until he finally breaks through, because he's finally, I guess, punched that mental block out.
That's the thing that inspired me to think about, like, what if he never left the back rooms, because they go back into the store again, and it's like, and then you're supposed to, I mean, from the chronology of the movie, it's like, all right, well, he gets out of the back room back into the store, and then he runs out to go tell his therapist what happened.
Yeah.
But it's like, what if that's just another space in the back rooms, and then there's another space and another space.
I gotta say, the theories for this around Backrooms are wild.
Yeah,
like you can go down the deepest hole.
Conspiracy theories.
It's its own liminal spaces.
Yeah.
And there's like a panoply of people that are engaging and like mixing theories together and stuff like that. And yeah, basically the only one that's definitively debunked is together. Bring Backrooms, bring people together. That's definitively been debunked is it was all a dream. But
thank God.
It's always a cop out. Oh, it's always a dream. No, it's not always.
Yeah, a dream. Everyone hates that. Everyone hates that, and I'm glad that Kane was like, it's not that. Like whatever it is, it's not that. And I think that there's a great theory, and one of the things I shared in our group chat in the pre-production for this episode, of just the idea that Clark being a failed architect, that like him having an effect on the Backrooms having an effect on him, so on and so on. That one of the reasons why Async is like kind of monitoring the situation is trying to like figure out what's different with this guy. That like this guy in here is having a different. We're starting to we see more things from his life in there. Like to the point that the still forms are like people that have not been to the back rooms, but are clearly misremembered memories that exist within there. That like it's reacting to him in a way that it hasn't before. Granted, this is still fairly early on in the quote unquote experiment, but of course Async's monitoring it, right? But that's the thing that if you don't have that back knowledge of the web series, you're like, oh my God, they were just like they were there the whole time. Like what the hell? I mean, even you are, it's still pretty jarring because he goes down that skinny little micro hallway and he's like trying to get to her and again, this is all very nightmare specific, right? And then you're like, what? There's guys here? Like what's going on?
What have you been doing this whole time, man?
Yeah, exactly. It's gonna let me dangle.
We're in danger.
Anyway, want to take us home, Kristina?
Yes. So, after recovering, Mary is taken to an interrogation room where she meets Phil. He explains that Async made magnetic resonance imaging machines until they discovered the back rooms, which have since become their primary research focus. When asked how she came across the back rooms and what she found there, she repeats Clark's description of it as a faulty, misremembered copy of reality. Mary asks if Async will let her go, but Phil states that the decision is not up to him. Inside the back rooms, a series of spaces are limited by Clark's and Mary's experiences and their consequences, ending in a loosely copied interrogation room in which their own deformed simulacrum sits still and silent.
Super creep Indian, right? But again, this goes back to like, hey, was it this guy? And shows the security footage picture, but it's black. But the caveman guy's blacked out, so you can't see. And the reason why, and I was thinking about that, is like, well, Async doesn't want it known that they're trying to make contact with whatever's in the back rooms.
Yeah.
Nope.
Or that they even know it's there because they don't know what they're going to do with it yet.
Right.
Well.
So she's basically an asset now.
Yeah.
And like her, it'd be interesting to see if we get more story with Mary, because you have someone that clearly as empathetic as you can be for being a researcher and scientist, of the Mark Duplass character, the Phil character, but is only gonna what is it? The decision's not up to him, right? And so that's where it gets to the whole the interpretation that I think we're gonna see. Assuming there's another movie, and certainly supported.
This type of film makes sense for them to be sequel,
because it's a world,
whatever.
Right?
Yeah.
Like there's more than one interest in the back room. And by the way, the fact that people weren't getting that, I'm like, where did the seagull come from? Where do you think that came from? The basement of the furniture store? There's more than one entrance, dude. Like, there's probably thousands.
This closet door back here.
Exactly. Is this a seagull just comes flying through? Well, and canonically,
Well, I got bats now, so.
Canonically, once the experiment that caused it started, like more and more entrances get opened with time. But the main entrance opened. It corresponds to the Loma Prieta earthquake in San Francisco.
Yep.
Which is interesting. If yeah, good. That's why we do it. Which is it because I was there. I was a kid, but I was there.
You were in the back rooms when you were a kid, Conan?
I wasn't. Yeah, I didn't quite make it in the back rooms. But like the idea that like okay, so when they did the experiment that opened this up, then that had real life effects to the world at large too. And so the idea would be okay that at some point, if there's more than one entrance, like then more people get caught up in it, like as it grows, et cetera, et cetera. And then there's the whole aspect of what happens with it, for the people that are in there. But I think this is a lot of people were not stoked on this ending. I think it's great. I think this ending's awesome.
I'm but I like kind of like bleak endings. Like I don't really need happy endings. You know what I mean? So like I was kind of
not every ending needs to be happy or like tied in. Wrapped in.
Like, I felt like this was like in the ideology of of the whole thing. I was like, it seems like a perfect ending.
Yeah.
Like I was like, I don't see how it's not. Like the whole way through, we've been like this kind of weird, what is, what isn't, and that was like. So I feel like it would have been kind of even weirder if it had have been like, okay, here we go, tied up in a nice bow, and there you go.
Yeah,
like,
I'm glad that horror movies are getting back to where like, oh, we don't need happy endings in these movies. What's the point?
Well, like you don't need a happy ending, but also you don't need to like give us
spell it out.
And
it can be very ambiguous and up to people to interpret.
Yeah, you don't need to give like an encyclopedia like of like information on how it all like let people take it away. So actually, I like the way it ended. I thought it was like good because there's still so many things that are ambiguous in the ending.
Sure, because we see Mary's childhood, her shut in, her agoraphobic mom's house, and we see the multi-layer thing happen with that, which is super cool, very affecting. I mean, there's a bunch of like interesting theories about that. I think the idea that Clark is so drawn to it is because he thinks of himself as an architect, right? And he actually seems to have an effect on this place in a way that he never could in real life. Like he never could actually, build a building or mostly because his designs are terrible. But but then the thing that really kind of made me like, interesting is that it's like, well, which Clark is the real Clark?
Yeah.
Because there's a reading that says that the pirate Clark is actually the real Clark that's just been like so perverted and kind of disfigured by the place due to his own skewed version of internal reality and internal like what he feels is external forces crunching him down rather than being culpable for his own actions. That the Clark that's given the Texas Chainsaw Massacre / Firewalk with Me speech is actually like just a very well articulated still form of what he thinks he is, what he thinks of himself. He thinks of himself as a very articulate, in control person who he knows, where everything is at, and like, even knows that you can facts about the place and so on and have you. And that's interesting to me because I was thinking it's like, oh, the Pirate Clark is just like the manifestation of his id, or what a good rule.
Well, also, here, like, what about the scar theory thing? Because like, so Clark has a scar, which later no longer see, right? So this in the scene in the kitchen when you've got Pirate Clark and Clark, both of those, like he doesn't have the scar there, but at all. Like it's
which leads credence to the still form theory, right? That it's like it's just it's like the first very at least externally from a visual perspective, best form still form, which is literally just the saddest thing possible because it's just like what his idea of what he is. Yeah. And which is still a fundamentally broken person. Nothing internally has changed.
No,
he's still like, but it explains like because there's leaps in logic that you're like, what? How'd you get? Huh? What? Really?
Yeah.
And it's sort of like, oh no, if this is sort of kind of the more task focused, well formed, still form, it makes sense. And then it's like, okay, so the Clark that's actually been down there for who knows how long. Is this like crazy malformed entity because as much because he's a self-destructive personality. That's how he sees himself, as a warped monster. And so, therefore, he becomes a warped monster, right? It's kind of like, the opposite of positive mental attitude.
yeah. And you don't, yes, but that's the thing. You kind of jump back and forth. You don't know whether he is or isn't, because he does seem like that's a manifestation of him. And then I was like, when I was reading it, it was like, oh, but what about the scar? And I was like, okay. And then I was like, oh no, Mary's still in the back room. She never left the back room. Like, blah, blah, blah. There's like, you can literally go on forever, like thinking about it. Like, what is, what isn't.
And I think it's a weaker movie if you have Phil just well, actually, that was this and this was just like give you like the whole reading, because it's like that wouldn't be how that would go down. They wouldn't be offering it. They want information from her, not the other way around. They don't even know what's going on. They don't know what they're seeing. Right.
No.
And so if you in like a situation like that, it's like, I mean, from my interpretation, Mary, she did get out of the back rooms, but like she's an asset for the rest of her life.
Yeah, that's what my view was that too. Like she got out, but now she's stuck down there with the async, like, right. And it's like she's now their asset of like and obviously whoever else like goes in.
Yeah, and George H.W. Bush's housing secretary or whatever is going to have a meeting, and they're going to start dumping poor people in there or something. Who knows?
Oh boy.
So what about? So my thing is, do we think that Clark killed his wife? Because that seems to be the most common thing. And like, did he kill her, put her in the back rooms? Like, did he go out into real life, kill her, bring her back to back rooms, dump her in there? That's like the thing that's going around that like everyone is like kind of debating.
Well, where would the evidence? Where would the evidence for that be?
Well, we wouldn't know, would we? I guess. So,
well, it would happen off.
I can say Clark did anything while he was there, and then he went back to the back rooms afterwards.
He was on the grassy knoll. I hear.
Hello, we're right there. You don't know.
Clark, Jimmy Hoffa. We don't know that. We don't know time really. So Clark went out there. Clark did the Oklahoma City bombing in 1995. Goes back to the back rooms, and they're actually trying to chase him down for doing the Oklahoma City bombing. They can't.
But they can't prosecute him because it hasn't happened yet because it's still 1990. So.
Yeah. I want to know if there's like other,
checkmate liberals.
Time is a concept in the back room.
There's so many different like ways. Like it's like I want to know if like other people are in the back rooms, like other people like Clark elsewhere in the back rooms that are stuck, have walked in from their own furniture shop or whatever.
So the answer to that within the continuity of the series is yes, at least for short periods of time. There are many, and as time goes on, more and more interest is opened up. And but
I think it'd be interesting to see them like meet, like actually like people meet in the back rooms.
Meet me in the back rooms.
Meet me in the back rooms.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't. Spoiler alert: doesn't generally go well for whoever gets in there. Doesn't usually go well.
But it could be a real clusterfuck.
But I'd be curious to see how, because this did well enough that they were like, "Hey, you want to do a sequel?" I was like, "Yeah, I do." And so I think we're in a situation that it can do. Like an Aliens or a Terminator 2, or a...
well, they just released it at the cinema again.
Or 28 days later, right? 28 days later to 28 years later in Bone Temple.
Clusters of trilogies in this universe.
Like, you don't have to tell the same kind of story, but you can use the framework of what you've built, and the fact that we have this shorthand now for what we've seen to tell a different kind of story that like involves other things within the universe.
Yeah.
So hopefully definitely. We'll see.
Well, I mean, like I was just saying, like they've already released it at the cinema again with the extras.
Did you see that? Yeah, I mean, if I was more flush, maybe I would have gone out to see it again at the theater.
Well, I'm not sure there's that many places here that are actually playing the one with the extras, but I saw like when they announced it, and I was like, well, I mean that they would have probably jumped on that quite quickly. The company, like, oh yeah, let's put the extras on, chuck it at the cinema. Like
I do like that they were starting to do there's a lot of people doing like Backrooms inspired art and stuff like that. They included some stills from the movie, and so they were getting YouTube takedowns and normal copyright strike stuff. And people were posting about it in like the Backrooms Reddit, and like he's on there and he's like, this shouldn't be happening. I'm looking into this. Yeah, and like they stopped doing it.
Yeah.
Which is awesome. I mean, and that's just shit. Like, how cool is that to have a filmmaker or creator who's that engaged with like the open source of it, the fair use of it, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
Oh my God! Like
You
how refreshing
can't
is
take
that, right?
something like, or he never owned it to start with. Like, so it's crazy that they thought that they could try and make it like, what do you call it? Like, essentially turn it into like a license, because it never was. So you can't do that. You know what I mean? That's kind of like what you were saying in the intro, Forrest, about how they'll learn lots of things from it. I think that's the thing. They start going down the road of taking like creators stuff from, whether it be YouTube or like, all sorts of places like that. We're taking things that are open source and things that are unlicensed, and you can't just suddenly then try to license it.
Right, because the thing is, this is a combination. Like, it isn't because this originated the way it did. It's because you have a very specific creator that has a methodology and a way of doing things, and like a very, very articulated version of what this world is, right? And that's the difference, and that's why, like, whatever. I mean, I don't know, like, what the next CreepyPasta thing they're gonna do. It's gonna be terrible, I'm sure. Like, whatever.
Yeah,
it's gonna be up there with like the Polly Pocket movie after Barbie, where it's like, what are you doing? Come on.
I do think it's A24 obviously not known for doing sequels, so I think if they choose to do a sequel of this, which it would be cool if they did. I would be more excited about that, because it's not like they make a sequel to everything that they
do, yeah.
I think that
distributed through Paramount Brothers or whatever the fuck the merger to be called now. So of course they're gonna be doing sequels.
Well, but as long as there's the trust of that is earned, right, of somebody that has had this like a sense of purpose for what this is, I think that's exciting. So he originally said, like, he originally was like, I don't know, when they offered for him to do the movie. He was like, I think like a graphic novel or something would be better. And then everyone's like, kid, they're letting you make a movie. Make the movie. And it's like, oh, okay, I'll figure it out.
It would be interesting if they did. I heard when I was out of the room for a second, you guys were talking about like 28 days later, 28 years later. It'd be interesting,
like that kind of sequel. Yeah,
if they gave like a foreign filmmaker or something the opportunity to do like a version of Backrooms, so it's like it shows you like a completely different country, and like
Leos Carax's Backrooms.
Oh my God, they're doing heroin and fucking in the back rooms.
Yeah, just don't let Refn anywhere near it. That's all I gotta say. Okay, so Letterboxd, of course, is a film lovers social media site where folks get to talk about the films they love, maybe the films that they didn't love, maybe the films that they just wanted to talk about the wallpaper, and how great the wallpaper was, and how they want it for their own home. And I'm not even kidding. A lot of people gonna have some Backrooms related wallpaper in their lives.
Yellow? I hate
my
yellow.
color.
Yellow is
Not my
back,
color.
y'all. Let's go.
And of course, there's a bottom-up democracy. Everyone gets to have their say, not just the Siskel's and Eberts of the world. Everyone gets to chime and opine about the movies that they love. And that's what the purpose of this bit, collected weekly by yours truly, is. Best expressed succinctly, right? These are the Letterboxd one-liners. I put them up for Forrest and the rest of the panel to react to. Let's do it. Letterboxd one-liners for Backrooms. Roll 'em. Stepped out of the theater and appeared in another one.
I forget the guy's name.
What a nightmare.
I think it's Tom something, the guy that interviews everyone between the TIFF screenings of stuff. Mm-hmm. And he said that he stepped out of the theater and the room, he had to go to the bathroom in the middle of the showing or something, and he had to pee, and he walked back into the theater, and the entire thing was like one of those long liminal spaces. he got like freaked out walking from the bathroom back to the cinema.
That rules. What a great experience. I knew it. I knew there was a large divorce pirate in there. That's right. You haven't seen a horror movie, so you've seen divorce. Gonna tell my kids this is what the Beyond section at Bed Bath & Beyond was. That's my secret favorite. Not so secret. Yeah. Me cackling loudly at it, I guess.
Well, it's better than when they didn't like click, where it was like, "This is Beyond." Go back there, and we'll give Adam Sandler a remote control.
That was a shit movie. No offense.
Yeah. Hey, you're not a click advocate? Who knew? I've never been so excited to see a movie. It's entirely piss yellow.
You're in yellow. Hey, the only time you're in yellow makes sense in cinematography and film is set design. Let's go.
One time it's allowed.
Yes.
Yeah, very dehydrated piss. Like,
yeah, exactly. Like, drink some water. What are you doing? They should just map the back rooms using Strava.
I don't actually know what Strava is.
Oh,
that's even better. I like that.
well, yeah. I mean, it's a funny word, right? But no, it's like an exercise app. If you walk, it'll like track your distances. And where you go
people
and stuff
who
like that.
people who run and shit. You know what I mean? People who exercise.
And then your steps. All right.
Yeah, exactly.
Foreign
Let's get your steps
beings.
in. Spent the last 30 minutes wondering what the back rooms people taste like.
I assume cake. I don't know why. I'm just like, yo, they gotta taste like cake.
It's tofu. I'm telling you.
Is that cake?
See, I don't like cake that much, but I like tofu less. So I'm like,
wait, Forrest, you're not really a big cupcake person either.
Yeah, I don't like. I'm not a huge fan. I also have the same dream as you. I also have the same dream as you about the underground mall. So I don't know what that says about
I
me.
like chocolate chip cookies. That's about it. Like I like my chocolate chips and brownies. That's about it.
We might have been podcasting for way too long and started sharing a mind, like a hive
Yeah, I
mind.
think that's what's going on. Me and Conan do it sometimes, and now
right.
we're finally doing it after all these years.
It's like when your periods sync up.
Yeah, our
That's
period.
what's happening.
And we track them on Strava.
We track them on Strava. Do not do any extra work that is above your pay grade at your minimum wage job, even if your boss begs you to. Been there and it's never worth it.
He's like, yo, we need a rope, we need a backpack, he's like, listen out all these things. I would have been like, all right, if you're gonna have a rope, I'm out. Like
it's like, I'm sorry, we're gonna have what? What customers think I'm doing when I say, let me go check in the back.
Exactly.
Retail.
Don't want to be involved in a shooting at a mall and go into a back room like I did.
Oh, that's a distracting sentence.
You shot people at the mall and then escaped into the
Exactly.
Someone brought their goddamn 3-year-old to the theater, bro. That shit was goo goo gaga. You know, I'm trying to be immersed in the deepest of horrors. They started doing raspberries and shit, bro.
In the back rooms.
Backrooms. No, her first
Baby's first word. Back rooms.
What do you know when you don't bring a baby into the back rooms?
He's like
Oh my god! Don't bring babies anywhere.
Yeah, people be like, again, when I saw Nosferatu, people brought their babies. I'm like, oh my god, I know it's Christmas Day, but for God's sake.
If you don't want a baby, dump it.
Grandpa can't watch
you don't
want a baby, dump it? Was that the quote?
if you don't want a baby,
exhibitions and shit, and I'm like, in an art gallery, what the fuck does a 1-year-old or whatever need to be at the art gallery?
Maybe that 1-year-old is the best art critic of all time. And the baby goes, if it's good, he goes, ah, and if it's bad, he throws something at it.
Just leave the damn things at home, guys. Leave them at home.
The sentence, that shit was goo goo gagaing while I'm trying to be immersed in the deepest of horrors is
It's better than Lady Gagaing while you're trying to be immersed in the deepest horrors, but not by much.
Hi, I'll be your waiter today. Can I interest you in some Backrooms replica of a person cake?
Oh god.
These people are an improvement on the ones we already have. You can eat them.
Yeah, how's that improve? That's just, yeah.
And I found that out because don't worry about why I found that out. I just know it.
Okay. Now I have to wonder.
Some things we don't speak of.
Mm-hmm.
Like the Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, if the wardrobe was well and truly fucked. Kudos.
Yeah, exactly.
It's the witch that's gonna take us away. And Clark is like, it's just the way I'm wired.
That's the way I like it.
There you go. Those are Letterboxd one-liners for the back rooms. Please follow the show on our Letterboxd HQ account at Movie Night Extra, where we have all the episodes of this great show that we do, along with the 10 short form content, write-ups, all that good stuff. The Backrooms Jander down there, that's your host, Forrest Miller, at Always Flacco. You can find him for his personal journeys, along whatever it is he's got going on, and you can check that out. I am the async tech support at Conan Neutron. I am doing the highbrow, the midbrow, the Populous Fair, all that good stuff. Criterion Challenge, more complete than not complete at this point, but follow me along for that, as well as other. That's interesting. As well as other things that are happening in my cinema journey. It's engaged. It's a good time. Through the back door. Really? Kristina over there. Adam, Kristina.
Yeah.
With this chat? Okay. Adam, Kristina on Letterboxd. Follow her. There's been some logging recently. There's probably some more logging. There's going to be some logging, folks. You are on...
Yeah. Hi. Yeah. So sorry. I'm trying to do something, but yeah, I'm gonna be doing the Odyssey.
Yeah, me too. This show.
Doing this. For the one-liners, though.
Fantastic. Renee Ruin is on Letterboxd as well. Not super active, but at Renee Ruin, and you should follow her as well. I believe we have a link to you in the homepage.
I'm always on Letterboxd now. I just don't write reviews.
Yes, it doesn't show up. It doesn't show up if you don't. Even if
I just log things as I'm watching them and stuff. But yeah, lots of people added me, so go ahead and add me. I find it fun. I like going through people's lists.
There you go. So go add Renee. Let's hit with the plugs.
If you're watching us on YouTube, please like and subscribe, and then hit the bell to get notified whenever we're streaming. And we'd humbly request that you watch the video to the end, because it helps us with the algorithm and helps more film fans to discover the show. We're also monetized. If you want to get your chat questions definitely read on stream, you can always send us a super chat, which will help us keep the show going. Every cent helps. If you're watching on Twitch, you can gift us a free sub on Amazon Prime with your Prime membership, but getting subs on Twitch is always appreciated, and it helps to follow us on there as well. We also have an audio feed, which is available wherever you download podcasts, if you prefer to listen to podcasts rather than watch the stream. That's updated usually the same day we stream, but watching on YouTube and Twitch is the best way to get the show first, live as it happens. If you want to support us with a monthly donation and get access to all of our after parties forever, which go patron only after we do them, you can become a patron at patreon.com/movie night extra. Link is in the description for that. It really helps us keep the show going since we do have some expenses to make this happen. We also have a Discord community. Link is in the description for that. We sometimes watch movies we cover on there. We get into conversations about everything from film to TV shows to related podcasts. We even have a Discord channel for memes. It's really fun on there. You can find us on all the social media platforms: Facebook, Instagram, Blue Sky, Twitter, and Threads. You connect with us on all of those. Talk to us. We'd love to hear from you. Lastly, we recently made a TikTok at Movie Night Extra where we're putting up short form clips from the episodes. Okay, passing this to Conan so he can tell you about his music and this week's Protonic Reversal. Conan, who's on Protonic this week?
That's right. Well, we did the show on Tuesday, so it still hasn't happened yet, but Hacka DiPicciotto coming back. So Alexander Hacka from Einsteinzetta Neubauten and Daniel DiPicciotto coming back on to talk about all their antics and what they're up to. Great band, great folks. ProtonicReversal.com. Of course, the archive's always free. No ads, no sponsors, no kidding. Patreon.com/ProtonicReversal. $1 a month for advance access. Sign up for that. Got a bunch of cool stuff coming up in the rest of summer, including at least Steve Von Till and Neurosis, maybe multiple episodes with Neurosis members. I don't know. We'll see how this shakes out. Just stay tuned to all the normal places, including subscribing on YouTube. That always helps. Conan Neutron, The Secret Friends, West Coast Tour in late August. So we're doing San Francisco, Sacramento, Eureka, Portland, Seattle with the Null. So going to be seeing flyers posted for that coming up. Come out to those shows if you're around, please. Los Angeles, 9495 for Caterball West, and we will be playing that as well, along with Mike Watt and JD Pincus, Butthole Surfers, lots of Cosmic Kitten, lots of great bands, Elephant Rifle, Gaytheist. And then 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th, Milwaukee, Chicago, Milwaukee, Madison, Chicago, Minneapolis. Not necessarily in that order. So come check that out, neutronfriends.bandcamp.com. As always, for the music, we have the Neutron available. I put up, people were asking about that. I had a deal where you get all the records for like some, very good price. That's coming back on again. Sans Artemer, which is out of print now. So people have been asking about that. Never been a better time to make an order. And some cool stuff happening in the fall as well. Hopefully I'll be able to announce that probably somewhere around the Nolan Batman month. And I was on with Eileen Jones for an episode about Howard Hawks that came out on Tuesday. It seems like it came out 2 months ago, but that's been how long this week has been. that was very informative, very cool on Film Suck. So definitely, if you're interested, check that out. Definitely, that was a fun episode to do. Very different than what we do on here because we were going over all of his works, like everything, the screwball comedies, the westerns, all of it. Very interesting character. So Howard Hawks, Film Suck, and I got a couple other things coming up as well. But otherwise, I'm gonna be freaking watching Titanic, I guess. Okay.
You'll be amazed at how many straight men love it.
Show. I mean, yeah. Like, what if I'm like, it's my new favorite movie? I don't think that's gonna happen.
I don't think that's gonna happen. You're not like my uncle. Every time you would call me on the feed, like,
well, see, I'm gonna give it a fair shake. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, what's the point of doing this a bit if I don't?
The second half more than the first half, obviously, because of
already happening. Like,
I mean, I would just be shocked, right? It would be a shocking development if it was like my new favorite movie or whatever. But yeah, whatever. Crazier things have happened, I suppose. I guess you'll have to tune in to find out, huh?
Yeah.
Huh? Kristina, what do you got?
I was on Leftist Mafia this past Thursday, which was a lot of fun.
Proto Titanic reversal. Very good. Yeah.
Oh
good.
wow.
Solid. That's odd.
Yeah, so we I'm getting closer and closer to booking Vincent Patterson, Michael Jackson's choreographer.
I think it's Vincent Price, and I was like, that'd be really impressive.
That's going to take a long
I think those worked on Thriller, right?
We're gonna get the Ouija board. It's gonna be a very scintillating conversation.
Welcome to Kristina's stream. I'm Vincent Price.
There you go.
Who did that Thriller? Right? He was involved.
Yeah,
with Michael.
He was in Thriller. He was a zombie. He also was the white gang leader in Beat It. And he did Smooth Criminal. He did Black or White. He choreographed Madonna's Vogue MTV VMA performance, and also choreographed Evita and her Blonde Ambition tour. He's got a whole. I'm gonna be getting his little autobiography to get more, because he suggested that to me. I'm like, give it to me. And also, I'm working on probably getting Taylor Lorenz to come on to discuss a few tech issues that she's been, talking about. Probably in the first week of August, I'm assuming, because I think they're having like a hearing next week about Section 230, I think, in the Kids Act or something like that. So that should be interesting. Yeah, and we did Shadow Saturday. I streamed for like 18 hours. I was just like, I was wired. I was up. I was ready to go.
Renee, was she doing that when you were on last time? Because I feel like she's been doing it for years, but maybe not.
No.
Well, she started off with Kristina. You doing the Shadows, Dark Shadows?
Yeah, I started from. I restarted again because it's the 60th anniversary, and Warner Brothers is doing a adult animated version of it. So I'm like, thank God, because I don't think anyone can be Barnabas Collins besides.
But you got like, how far did you get on the first time?
We got to like 1970. We got to like a year before it ended.
Yeah, I mean, it was
but they were doing this, but
comprehensive.
Some good news.
A lot of Barnabas.
The original movies, House of Dark Shadows, which was filming during the soap opera. It's a more gorier interpretation of Barnabas's origin story. They just slapped a bunch of the stuff together and made it a movie. It's great. It's on YouTube if you guys want to watch it. It's so good. I love it. Yeah, so I'm glad to be. A lot of people are like, "Yo, Shadow Saturdays helped me through a lot," and I'm like, "Oh, okay," People are like, "It's actually my favorite day of the week when you stream." I'm like, "Oh, thanks, cool." I actually know I like that because then I don't have to do a whole lot. So,
like, do you just watch it? Dumb question.
I'll try not to hear the insult in that, but okay.
Yeah, it's on Tubi, so I watch it, react to it, doing like a mystery science theater type of thing, and people love it. People are like, I got stuff to do.
The people's platform.
I'm gonna have your stream in the background, Kristina. It's fine. I'm gonna lurk. I'm like, okay, cool. Yeah, you don't have to pay. And then they're like, Kristina, for the last 6 hours, I've been glued to your stream watching this soap opera from 60 years ago. I'm like,
okay.
Well, because I've had a Twitch for ages and never really used it, and I've been thinking about let's like go. I just watch movies and do stuff like constantly all the time, and I'm like, I just might go live on there. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
as well. Yeah.
I didn't think you could stream stuff like on there.
Yeah, you just gotta make sure it's like not TOS or whatever. Because I mean, the problem with YouTube, streaming on YouTube, is like you can't react to YouTube on YouTube. You get copyright, struck and all that. So, but just been busy streaming, and also Forrest, our boy Freddie G, is probably coming on my show on Kristina's Corner probably next week or the week afterwards.
Nice.
Yeah, he's coming on for the Dark Knight.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I'm surprised that was the one he picked, but
yeah. So yeah, that's all I got really going on. Unless I forgot something.
Kristina, got any? Sorry, Renee. Sorry.
Yeah.
You got any plugs? What do you got?
What have I got? No, I've been focusing heaps on music lately, going back. So I'm like blogging hard again. Blogging hard. Working on the next Ruin Radio. So the most recent 2 that I did, now that it's back, was Ed Templeton, photographer, skateboarder, amazing human, and then Wesley Isehold from American Nightmare, Cold Cave, and Heartworm Press. So he was the most recent one. So I'm just working on getting the next one up. And then I have another one of my electronic mixtape things that I've been doing, which they've been really fun. So that will be coming probably at some stage this month, and that'll be fun. They've actually been doing pretty well. It's just like a mix thing that I've been doing. This time I run it off Spotify, whereas when I do my other mixes, I mix them from scratch and then put them up there. So I think it'd be fun. And then next month, I will be back with the girls on the night shift. So we'll be coming back with over there as well. So stay tuned for that. Be dropping that soon. That'll be awesome. And then, of course, I'll be coming back here as
That's
well.
Right. That's right.
So when we have that sorted, I'll let you all know.
We're going to do some Zalowski, and it's not Possession. We already did that one, so it's a very,
we've already
very
done
short
Possession.
list.
And I was going to say, that stream is very popular. That was a great stream. If you haven't watched the Possession stream, you should go and watch that, because that's one of my favorite content, and it's a really good episode.
We may inadvertently be to blame for them trying to do a reboot of it. Which is a long story, and I really hope that doesn't happen, because you can't.
Oh, you can't. Well, yeah.
What are you doing?
I refuse to acknowledge that they are doing one, and I can't think about it. It's heresy. It just shouldn't be allowed.
Yeah, it shouldn't happen.
It's not good. But we'll be back here. So yeah, that's it. And then hanging out. I've been doing a little live streaming here and there on TikTok and whatnot, just lurking around.
Renee, do you have final thoughts for Backrooms?
Yeah, look, I really, really liked it. I mean, I don't think I ever went in with the idea that I wasn't going to like it that much, but I don't know, it made me really excited. And like I say, this year in general has made me very excited about horror, but this like film really, really made me excited about horror and just the future of horror and the future of just film in general. It's been a while since I think I've been that excited about seeing seeing young creatives and getting out there and amongst it. And I think, the fact that a 16-year-old like came up with this, like just I like, this kid is a little gun. I wish I was mates with this guy when I was 16. But it just really, I enjoyed it.
He's got like a very mellow kind of like mellow young guy vibe to him too, like in the conversation.
Yeah, like chill, like kind of like, it doesn't seem like he's just your regular. Yeah, for sure. And I just there was so much about the film that I really liked. I mean, obviously the look of it and the way it just engulfs all those kind of the liminal space and the nightmares, like they were icky enough for me without having the monster. So like for me, that stuff was scary enough. But I also just liked all the different like ways it was lining up with each other, like the idea of like memory, the idea of like but all of you kind of mentioned it, the architecture and like physical architecture, mental, emotional, like just there's so much going on. It was really for me it was just really refreshing. So yeah, I really enjoyed it, and I was when I saw it I was like, would you? And I think everyone should avoid doing this, by the way. Do not try and compare this and Obsession, because it's just not the same at all. Because people keep on trying to say, which one do you like more? Which one did you like better?
They're very different movies.
They're completely different movies.
That's it.
Yeah.
Extremely different. But it's definitely, I would definitely give it a 4 out of 5 from me. Yeah.
Kristina, final thoughts.
You know what, guys? Hollywood is going to learn the right lesson from this movie. More Reddit movies. Just kidding. We all know that's not going to happen. But this movie was so good. I'm loving the idea of fresh takes on certain aspects of our culture, and particularly the internet, that people, the mainstream, are not really aware of. Go see it. It's just so fresh and original, and who would have thought that CreepyPasta could actually become a hit movie, And
A24, I guess, but
this is one instance where it has the potential to do really well with sequels, and I will not be mad about that. Yeah. Can't wait to see Backrooms 2 back at it again.
Backrooms 2, back to the room.
Yeah.
Conan.
Yeah, unique, assured, and unsettling world building with a very magnetic cast. I mean, I think we talked a little bit about it, but the atmosphere in this movie is really off the charts. And as I mentioned, I think the visuals stay true to the source material, but in a way that's both logical and not cliche. So you get these enthralling but confounding vibes that are thick enough to cut with a knife. And I think that the enjoyment of this movie is completely dependent on your willingness to submit to this world building. Yeah. And, that's going to vary from person to person. But visual surrealism that deserves to be talked about in the same sense as the greats, frankly, in my opinion. The fact that he's like 20 blows my mind.
Yeah.
I think there are about 3 scenes in this film that are about as striking and unique as any suspense, horror, sci-fi movie in the last 30 years. So it's worth watching just for those. But I found the whole thing to be very compelling and immersive. Lastly, Renate Reinsve is a treasure. And I cherish each and every performance she gives in English. I think she's wonderful as Mary Klein, and she's just a wonderful face for this manner of suspense and horror. I think she's really great at it. And some people had a problem with the third act, and I don't think it is as strong as the beginning, but I definitely like that as well. And I liked it more upon rewatching it. And I think this is the kind of movie that, because so much is left open to interpretation, that you can get more out of it if you give it another shot later on. And especially, I would say, absent any hype, too, would probably help with that as well.
Yeah.
And then last thing I'll say is one of the most impressive and unique things to come out of, for lack of a better term, like video game culture and the YouTube world around it. And one of the best adaptations. Is it an adaptation or a sequel, though? I don't know. I mean, kind of both are true, right? So it kind of depends how you look at it. But the fact that the story gets over without having seen the YouTube series is the key to making it work. But it's definitely enhanced if you do know it. And I can't believe I'm the only one that's watched it on this freaking channel. That's crazy.
Yeah, I gotta
crazy.
Watch it.
I'm the least likely person.
I was beginning to watch it. There's just so much going on. Between,
ask the audience to place bets on it. Nobody would have bet on me. They would have been correct not to. It's not my thing. But yeah, anyway.
And that's why we set up a poly market.
That's why we're on Kalshi. No, not even as a joke. No. Will we take Kalshi money? I don't know. We're all broke. Maybe we should.
Yeah. I mean, I'm gonna be making some nice Switch money next month. I'm excited.
Oh, good for you.
Yeah,
sounds great.
Kristina over here. Look at this.
Yeah.
We will be back on. I'm surprised she gave us the time of day to come on today. No, but we will be back on the stream on Tuesday to talk about the
Odyssey. That's right.
I just call it the Odyssey. Whatever. I thought that's what it was like. The Odyssey.
The Odyssey.
The old dirty Odyssey.
Older, yeah. All right, so we'll be back. Talk about that.
Dirty Bastard.
It's the Odyssey starring Old Dirty Bastard as Odysseus.
Sure,
nice.
Tune in for that, I guess. I don't know.
Tune in for our watching the Wu-Tang Clan's slash they're sacking the Wu-Tang Clan, and the Wu-Tang Clan has to fight back.
My favorite part of the Odyssey is when Odysseus says, "Protect your neck."
and then Zeus throws a bolt down, and he goes, and then the bolt bounces back up and hits Zeus, and he kills Zeus, and that's how the Odyssey begins. It's crazy.
It was a surprising beginning. Yeah.
All right. Well, we're
out of here, right?
So Movie Night Extravaganza. Subscribe YouTube.com/Movie Night Extravaganza, Patreon.com/Movie Night Extra. Follow us on all the things, and good night.